Hello, everyone. Welcome to the live stream. Kind of an unusual stream for me because I've never streamed on a Saturday before. And kind of wanted to do this now because I'm putting out a new video and I kind of wanted to talk about some stuff with that. Elijah, and I see the Mix Club. Gaz, what's going on? I see Fabian. Soul Machine was here before anybody. I don't know if Soul Machine is still there. He's like 20 minutes early. Which was way better than me. Oh, he's saying what's going on. There is a reason why I call this Unplanned and Unprepared. Actually kind of ties in with the YouTube video I just put out about 20 minutes ago. And Kit will put up a link to that. Mm-hmm. And it kind of ties into... I've had a couple of interesting conversations with people lately. It's all this stuff is kind of hitting me at the same time with my life and my career and a bunch of other stuff, because people have always asked me like, oh, how did you get, where you've gotten with your career and all that? And I always, had these ideas about it, but doing the YouTube channel. And this is kind of what the video is about that I put on YouTube today, but it kind of I think I've had this re-evaluation and new realization about what my life actually has been. And none of it kind of makes any sense. I was actually telling one of my kids that when I was younger, I think I spent most of my time freaking out about having responsibilities and growing up. I always thought that I would either end up being a musician, maybe in the Army, although I dropped that off. My dad was in the Army. I figured that wouldn't work pretty early on, but I figured I'd probably either be a musician or in an insane asylum or a hermit. But my life has actually been full of a lot of responsibility and heavy-duty stuff, and I keep putting myself in these situations that I'm completely freaking out, which is why I call this channel Freaking Out with Billy Hume, because I'm freaking out all the damn time. But I think that there's been some... nobody's forced me to do these things. I keep getting in situations that force me to grow up or learn something new, and I'm never prepared for anything. And I actually had this whole plan for the video today, or the live stream today. I was actually going to talk about the whole sample contest and actually play with my own samples and show some stuff. And I literally got Ableton open up and the drum rack pulled on a track, and that's as far as I got, because it's just, I've been trying to get things done. But the thing is that the scramble, I call it the scramble to get things done, and I'm always planning more than I can get done, actually moves me forward, even though it's like a freaking mess. Like today, I don't know if the lav is going to work, but I got a new mount for my overhead. So this camera here, I actually had it hooked up with like a broken lighting stand and Velcro. But I wanted to be able to move it because on the last live stream, I had it over to the side and I could show my gear and all that. So I actually have a sliding stand. I think I can slide it now, where it allows me to slide it back and forth easily. So I stayed up late the other night when I should have been doing something else, working on that. And I also have, I don't know if you can see it, well, Kit's setup back there. Kit's setup has always been like, my head's in the way. It's been just like thrown together, but I actually got some some camera rack gear and all that. Basically, it's all sitting on this little coffee table where there's a power strip, the stand for her camera. Basically, if I need to get that out of the way because of a session, I can literally pick up the whole table and everything she needs, except the microphone. I'm going to try to attach a microphone to that table. But it's just like, I was like, oh, how can I get it all done? But it kind of ties into what the video is about. And this right here is actually the thumbnail for the video that I put out. If everybody could go watch it, that would be great. It's a video about luck. I didn't know that I had it. And I actually went through most of my life thinking I was a very unlucky person, but it occurred to me I'd kind of created some things that would happen by just putting myself in the most incredibly difficult situations. Like these live streams actually are very stressful to me. I love them, but I was a little nervous today, but the last live stream on Wednesday and the one before that where I was sampling, I literally almost threw up before the live stream. I was so stressed out. I was like, I literally thought I was going to chunk my lunch because I get so worked up. And a lot of it's because on every live stream, I'm doing something I've never done before. Like right now, and I hope you guys can hear me, I'm actually routing my audio differently. There'd been some issues with the sound of the speakers, so I found this plugin right here. And there's not much right now. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull this thing up. Let me go over to the DAW. Somebody had said, and I wish I remember who suggested it. It's this thing called Mute-O-Matic. So if I'm doing a session, and as you can see, there's nothing in this session right now. But if I was doing a session, when I hit play, and in many cases record, it would mute this mic if I'm running it through the DAW, so I don't get any phasing issues, which has been an issue. So today's the first time, even though I'm not working on music, it's a new routing system where I have to hook the mic up through the DAW, but I still got to route it into the board so that it's getting to you guys, but without it coming through my speakers. It's kind of complicated. So that's another new thing I'm doing today. Anyway, let's see if there. I see a lot of people on here. I see Ite Lavi. Hey, how's it going? And I see music. You've been here before. Mazukakia. Oh my God, I can't say. Can y'all just have names like Bob and stuff, and Sue? I can't read y'all's names. But hey from Kentucky, going for the hermit. Yeah. Oh, we also had the other thing's been going on. We had a big snowstorm here, so I got to go play in the snow. And my other house, I have another house where I have
big snowstorm is relative.
Well, big snowstorm for us,
yes.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah. But I have another house where I have another studio, and my friend Darren Stanley lives there. The heater went out. The furnace went out Wednesday night after the stream, which was cold as hell, and it's still not working. So I went down there to see if I could fix it because I know a little bit about it. Didn't work. Then, Kit, how many people did you call to get the furnace fixed? 10
different companies and/or individuals we know that do HVAC work. I did manage to get, I think 2 of them ultimately offered to come out, but I went with one of them. But out of 10, that was, and 3 of them never even contacted me back.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been kind of hectic, and I am stressing out a little bit, man, because I really wanted to stream today, and I wanted to get this new video out. And please, everybody, go watch it. It's about luck, because I really believe you can kind of create your own luck. And hey, Nikki, what's going on? Oh, yeah, Fragile. Yeah, so Fragile's up in Canada, and he says, you have a big snowstorm, like 18 inches of snow. I think we got 2 or 3.
Yeah, I think it was around 2 inches for us. So, that's our big snowstorm.
Yeah. I mean, I got to go. I went out and filmed some stuff and did some stuff. And then
the tree limbs are all covered with ice. It's very pretty.
Yeah. And me and a couple of the kids, one of my kids has a Subaru 4-wheel drive that was my old one, and it was broken, and he fixed it. So we went out driving around yesterday, and we actually found a Mexican restaurant everything was closed. We found a place, and we specifically wanted to go drive in the storm and the snow. So, it's all right. It's all right, man. Mazukak. Is it Mazuk?
Maybe you should just say Maz.
I'll just say Maz. I just see the Akai in there.
Is that okay?
Yeah, Elijah. Yeah, I mean, whatever happens, I do feel like you could nudge it in a certain direction. And I never felt like I was lucky. And also, here's the other thing. And this actually ties into Unplanned and Unprepared. And it was something, I had an artist I was working with for a few years, and this artist would often say to me, I'd be talking about plans, and let's try this, let's touch this, and the artist would say, well, I just want to make sure that we're being smart. And I know I've talked about this before, but it's like, my attitude is like, I don't know about being smart. I'm not actually that smart. I just usually go do things. The artist would be like, we need to make sure we do it right. I'm like, I don't know what the right way to do it. I just feel like I'm just going to go do it anyway. And I'm going to usually try to do more than I'm capable of. And it actually, even if it's a disaster, even if things don't work out and they fail, it actually changes you as a person. You learn something from it new, as long as you don't freak out about it. But even if you fail, then you've kind of gotten to this new place, right? You've figured something out, and you have other points of data about what works and what doesn't work. So, that's the only thing that's really moved me forward, is just like going and trying things and doing them anyway. And that's what the new video is about. Let's see. Oh, yes, Nikki, I do know about the fires in L.A. And as a matter of fact, I meant to reach out to somebody. I know a couple people whose homes burned, and I do have a consulting client that we were supposed to do a 2-hour consult the other day, and he had to evacuate and leave suddenly, I
had to hit us up the night before and be like, I'm not going to make it. I'm evacuating.
Yeah,
man.
I've never met him, but it's somebody I do these online consults with, and he's got a ton of vintage gear, like all around him, behind him. He's got like vintage keyboards and drum machines. I hope it's all right, because that stuff is not easily replaced, if it's replaceable at all. And I haven't heard from him, so I'm hoping he's all right. I know Harry Mack, the freestyle rapper, who's
fantastic. Check him out.
Yeah, and he interviewed me for his channel, and it was amazing and all that. We've communicated some and all that, and we've talked, but he just put out a message today that he lost his home. It's a lot of people out there. It's terrible. It's crazy. I'm hoping that they're all right. All right. Yes, I saw that, Mark Hendrickson. Yes, Bob Clearmountain's studio burnt down. And he had like an SSL in his home studio and a bunch of irreplaceable gear as well. Just, I can't even, I don't even know what to say about it. And, people say things like, oh, California, oh, yeah. It's like, yeah, California's dry, but let me tell you something. Here where I live, I'm in North Georgia, and it's been a few years. I think it was like 4 years ago. We had a drought, and we had no rain for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. And there were these fires up in the mountains, like far from us, and I could smell the smoke, and it was smoky. And my property, I've got 5 acres out here, everything was dry. Even the vinca, everything was like cracking and breaking. Had a fire started here, it was a little bit unusual, but let me tell you, everything would have gone up around here. I was pulling brush away from the house and all that. So it's not just something like California. It could happen anywhere if you don't have rain and it's dry. So that's all I'm saying. Yes, Harry Mack is the best freestyler. Absolutely amazing. And it's just terrible that he lost his house. I don't know if Warren Hewitt is in L.A. or not. And actually, hey, Kit, Jody, and Jody's basically another sister of mine. She's my big sister's best friend, but she's like family. She had a post up on Facebook about, was she having to evacuate? Because she's like in West Hollywood.
Oh, I haven't been on Facebook for a while, so I don't know. I'll text her and see how she's doing.
Yeah, and I need to check in with Matt Malpass, too, because Matt Malpass is out there, and I don't...
Yeah, we don't know about Sunset Sound either.
Yeah, I don't know.
A large portion of Colorado last night too. Oh no, those fires were late last year.
No, we said last.
No, he says
in one night.
In one night,
one night, yeah.
Yeah, actually, G-Grass of the Dusters, of the infamous string dusters, they had to evacuate their home during those Colorado fires.
I see you, Nikki.
Well.
Yeah, that's bad. That's really bad. Oh, hey, Travis, how's it going? Oh, We'll talk about the fires again in a second, but I was just kind of wondering how people are doing on their sample song. I had planned on working on some of the samples today, and I just didn't have time, which is why I call this stream Unplanned and Unprepared. But I'm kind of wondering if anybody has actually, we had one submission so far. Oh, and then somebody also asked if they could...
Two now.
Oh, we have 2 submissions? Because didn't you say somebody wanted to... resubmit a song. They changed their mind. I was like, that's fine. Just make sure to label it the same song name. Put a V2 for version 2 on it so it's very clear. And then we'll switch it out because you might,
We're not listening to these before the stream.
I'm not going to listen to them before the stream.
As long as there's one entry per person, whatever the final one was, that's what it'll be for the contest.
Oh, it's Travis Songs his sample song's complete. Oh, the other thing is, somebody said, oh, hey, Denmark, what's going on? It was, I think on the last live stream, somebody was talking about micro sampling. And I think what they're saying is they cut up the sample into teeny little pieces and just, I guess because it's the same tone or something happening really quickly, it creates a note. That's what I was going to try to do today, and I didn't. And they actually posted a video up on Discord that I was going to look at before the stream, and I just didn't have time. So that's why I'm so unprepared. But that was one thing I was kind of curious about. Oh, hey, James, what's going on? Mixed Club. So what I did with the Mutomatic, and I'll just show you, it's not that hard. Okay, so this is a plugin right here, and the way it works is if there's nothing in this session here. Let me just drag something over here. Hold on. Just so I have some audio. How about, I don't know, this one. All right, I'll just put this here. All right. I have no, oh, hold on. I don't know how loud this is. Hold on. Wait, is it not? Hold on a sec. Hold on, guys. I didn't do a sound check before this. I actually didn't do a live stream before the stream today. So hold on.
You did for the stream today.
I didn't do a sound check.
There you go.
Before the line stream. I was just kind of kidding when I said unplanned and unprepared. I'm actually way more unprepared than I actually thought. Hold on. I don't mind making a fool out of myself. I do it all the time. Hold on. Oh, hold on. Here. Kids, say something intelligent. I actually forgot to patch something up.
Oh. I was just typing a thing. Oh, Gaz wants to know if you've had your coffee today. No,
I haven't.
He barely ate, so I made sure to bring him some food before the stream.
Oh, I should be getting... I hear the audio.
Yeah, you need to ask the sound guy.
I don't even know how to describe what I'm doing here. Hold on. 7 and 8, 3 and 4 is supposed to go to there.
I know, right? Something intelligent.
Oh my God. Yeah, like, hey, we got on Billy's live stream to see him do absolutely nothing constructive or productive. It's like, oh.
Yes.
No, that's right. Q2. So that's what? Hold on.
Oh, Eric. Yes, Harper can't be with us today because he has another job, you know, and he comes out every Wednesday for us for our regular stream. But since this was, you know, on a different day and time, he couldn't be here with us today. It does mean that, you know, at least there's no chance I'm going to spread my germs to anybody besides Billy, who, if he hasn't caught it by now, isn't going to catch it.
All right. Looks like some idiot got into the Universal Audio app here and changed things. What in the... Okay, I think I got it now. Hold on. I'm going to turn off my mic so I can see if this level's... All right, I think you guys heard that. Okay, back to what I was talking about. So, this plugin, the way it works is I have my mic run into the DAW here on my talkback track, right? And if the minute I start playing, it cuts off my mic. See? Yeah. But then when I stop it, I can start talking again. And the reason I did that is because I was listening to some of the playbacks on the stream. I don't like wearing headphones when I'm working. So I was getting a lot of speaker sound in the mic, and it was really bugging me. If I'm using this in Pro Tools, I can actually set up the plugin here where I can choose play or record or both. Right now it's set for both. It doesn't work in Ableton, but I'll probably turn it off and on. But there are times when I'm recording. So like in Ableton here, if I hit record or play, it will mute my mic. But I don't want my mic coming back out my speaker. So what I did is I'm actually routing my mic here. If you'll notice on the output, it says 16. That is the channel 16, which is number 8 on my Apogee. So that is actually not coming out of the master fader. That is coming out of the Apogee output 8, and then it comes here. So this right here is my microphone coming out of the DAW, and then here is the DAW, so that I'm not hearing my mic on the speakers. I hope that answers your question, Mix Club. And I think this hopefully will improve the audio quality because, like I said, I'm listening back to it and it's just kind of like you don't really hear the stereo spread and all that because this mic is blending in and stuff like that. Let's see. War of the Worlds. There is also somebody blowing in a glass pipe or something. Oh, Travis, you said you made the fattest kick drum out of those samples you made. Oh, wow. Man, I can't wait to hear. Yes, Travis, you can do whatever you want with the samples. You can do whatever you want with the samples that I made. And just for anybody who's wondering, actually, Kit, you want to explain it? I'm going to throw up a thumbnail here. Let me find it first. Can you explain about the contest for anybody who is on here who doesn't know what I'm talking about?
So what Billy did 2 live streams ago is he made a whole host of samples from random interesting things. He uploaded all those samples to his Patreon. And what the contest is that you can take those samples and make yourself a song. You are only allowed to use those samples that you know, from the pack that Billy made. But you can do anything you want with those samples. Stretch them out, pitch them, chop them up, whatever you want to do with those samples in your own DAW, you can do. You can add vocals, like no AI, nothing like that, but you can add real vocals of yourself or another singer. Other than that, it's just the samples and vocals, nothing else. Do whatever you want with them. Make a song. And I always do this. I don't remember.
It's the
22nd?
22nd.
Is the stream or the deadline? I think it's the stream.
The stream is the 22nd. The deadline is midnight the night before.
Exactly. So midnight U.S. Eastern time. I guess it doesn't matter. We can do midnight the 21st. And by the time we do the stream, we'll have everybody's stuff.
Yeah. And
so midnight your time.
And the prize is a Billy Hume Frisbee Bomb Crater CD. This is a CD I made in the 90s, and you've heard some of the music on my videos, and also 2 months of top-level membership to my Patreon, which will that would include 2 one-hour private Zoom consultations with me where we talk about mixing or whatever, or making popcorn. I don't really know.
Eric, we have no agenda today.
Yeah, there's absolutely no agenda. I thought I had one. That's why I called it Unplanned and Unprepared, because I was totally unprepared. So I just threw that thumbnail up, and I'm actually more unprepared than I realized.
Are guitar amps allowed in the sample contest?
Only if you're running the samples through a guitar amp. No guitars. I mean, but hey, man, you can run the samples. You can run the samples through an amp. You can run it through a plugin, reverb, pitch it, flip it backwards. And somebody asked last time, can they use it as I forget what the term is, where there's certain types of synthesizers where you use something as a sound, and that's like Omnisphere, it'll use a bit of sound, and then it creates a synthesizer sound from it. And I don't really want to do that because to me that's kind of goes beyond it. But yeah, if you want to run it through an amp, heck yeah, run it through an amp. Soul Machine. Oh, hold on, Soul Machine. But I do want to say this. Let me show you this. If you want to find out all the details of the contest, go to my YouTube channel and you'll go to the community section. You'll see, videos, shorts, live streams, but click on community. And I've got a post there with this. This is the thumbnail for it. And it will tell you like all the rules. I got to have official rules and stuff like that. And all that kind of stuff. And I was actually going to make a YouTube video about this, but then I was like thinking like, oh my God, what if like 200 people or 100 people send songs in? It'd be a little much, and I've never done anything like this before. So it's kind of like, I figure if like a handful of people, up to 20 people send something in, that's cool. I can handle that. Groove Dodger, you're saying MIDI guitar. I mean, if you take the samples and pitch them and you're triggering the samples with a MIDI guitar, that would be fine. That would be totally fine. And I think Tyreman said he's got a song done.
And Virgilia is saying that it's called wavetable synthesis, the synth resampling.
Oh, and I see Roth Loaf. Yes, welcome. This is a completely non-agenda stream today, except for the fact that I made a video that I put out, and I was kind of talking about that. It's this is the thumbnail right here. I put it out I guess about 35 minutes ago, and it's about luck and how you can create luck. So if y'all get a chance, go see it. But yeah, I was going to work on samples, and I just didn't have a chance. And oh my God, it's just been so crazy. Do I have analytics for how many people have downloaded the sample pack?
Oh, good question.
Good question.
I don't know.
Hold on. Kit, say something interesting. I'm going to look that up real quick.
I'm actually posting the link to the Patreon because that's where you can find the samples and the rules for the contest. And you do have to join the Patreon, but it doesn't cost anything. It's free. The samples are free. And thank you, Casey. What else was I going to say?
I'm trying to find out if I can. I'm going to my.
Oh, you were
Patreon,
looking to see if you can find analytics.
Can I find out?
Yeah, I have no idea. Google has, YouTube has a very robust system for analytics on videos and things like that, but I don't know that Patreon does as much.
Oh, I hadn't been on here in a couple of days because I've been working.
Oh, have you got a lot of comments?
Yeah, there's more people.
Hi, people.
On Patreon that have Red Optical Corp. I need to answer. Oh no, I did answer that.
Oh,
question.
hey, Queenie.
Oh,
welcome.
Hey, Queenie, what's up? How's it going? Let's see. I'm not smart enough to figure out how to do the Patreon analytics. I don't know if it tells me how many things I've downloaded.
No, not you.
Or how many things have been downloaded.
Or how many people have downloaded a thing.
Yeah, whatever, man. I don't know. I can't talk right. I didn't even have any Spanish coffee today. There's no Cafe Bustelo coursing through my veins right now, so how am I supposed to think? And Queenie, I'm gonna try to send you those pictures later today. It's been kind of crazy.
There's some discussion about wavetable synthesis and whether that would be kind of going too far.
Yeah, to me, it's kind of like then it's just using the sample as like a seed. And then it's going through the synthesizer and it's creating a whole new sound. Like I said, I believe Omnisphere works very similarly. Oh God, similarly to.
Do you want me to make you coffee?
To that, I'd probably need some coffee. God, I don't know, but to me that kind of takes it too far. Yeah, I feel like, and the point is, I'll be honest with you. The point here is, I kind of want to I really want to push everybody to the edge. I'm not making it easy on you guys. I mean, and I'm glad y'all think the samples are really good because I didn't feel like they were that good, although the acrylic tube was amazing. Hold on. Actually, check this out. Let's see, do I have it in here?
Hey, open source has to run, but wanted to tell you that you're probably the most down-to-earth and non-egotistical producer engineer out there. And thank you and keep on.
Well, thanks. Thanks so much. I appreciate you stopping in. But this right here.
Like what, Gaz?
This is like the tube right here. Hold on. I'm reveling in my tube sound here. This is one of the samples. This is a good one. I mean... Oh, God. Oh, hold on. I got to mute the channel now. It's going to keep playing. But anyway, some of those are cool. But what the point I was trying to make is that I want you to struggle. I want you to work hard. I don't want to make, like I said, you can run it through an amp. You can chop it up. You can pitch it. You can turn it backwards. Run it through a guitar pedal, whatever, but it's got to be the sample. And the point is, I don't want anybody to take any shortcuts. And the idea is that it's kind of a combination of in some ways the restrictions are off with what you can do with it, but there is also this limitation, a severe limitation, that is you can only use the sample or your voice. And that kind of structure of creating can force you to develop new sounds and new ideas, and you will probably end up creating sounds you never, like if you can't use wavetable and you got to figure out how to make a pad somehow, then maybe you'll figure out something you'd never had before. And actually, I don't know if I can do this live on the stream because I didn't really get a chance, but I was thinking there's certain sounds in here that were kind of like these longer pitches, and that maybe you could stretch them out and do something kind of crazy with them. Like, oh, you know what? Hold on. Flower pot. Hold on. Let me go. I think it was was it this one? One of these had a really, okay, so like for instance, if I drop this into here, and let me go to my DAW, and I may just make a complete fool out of myself here because I'm literally doing this on the fly here. I meant to prepare on this, but let's see. I know. I'll just take that for instance, right? So let's say I chop that up, and and I'm using this little plugin here, so I'll mute it if I have to. Right now I've got it set so it stops it stops my voice when a sound is playing. So let's go here, and let's warp it. Here, and then I'm going to go Complex Pro, and let's just, I don't know, let's pitch it up, see what happens. You know, so hold on, let me loop it. Whoops. And I don't know, maybe we could, the cool thing about Complex Pro is it's got, where this, well, no, it's not just that. It's like the way different, of these warping things can make it sound. For instance, here's tones. Here is beats. And if you take the beats and you change it to like this grid thing here. Well, I don't know if it will on this sound because I'm not really doing anything crazy. There's no real transients. But if you go to texture and you change things like the grain size and the flux, or let's see, I know Complex Pro can make it. And then you pitch them up. Or if you're in repitch and you pitch it up, then that really makes a huge difference because it changes the length of it as well. Oh, let me take the warp off.
You want me to run make you coffee?
Yeah, go make me some coffee. I'll probably need it. And I don't know if that's the best example, but I was like thinking I'm trying to remember what I had in there, but something that I could make I was trying to figure out how to make some notes, and then I could put it into a sampler and create like a keyboard sound. There was one, I'll leave that there. There was one, what was it? I was playing something with a bow. And hold on, flower pod is on my vibraphone. Whoops. Vibraphone, yeah. A rhythmic pad, yes, exactly. Oh, you did turn that into a pad? Man, I'm so eager to see what y'all did with this stuff. Hold on, what did I play with a bow? Oh, recurve bow. Did I play the recurve bow with the bow? Hold on. Oh, with bow. Hold on, let me just... That was hard to get a long sustained note out of. I'm just randomly playing sounds here. Yeah, the recurve bow might have worked. There was something, man, I wish I wanted, as well, I was going to get in here earlier. I got the springs. I don't think the springs had much pitch on them. The acrylic tube might have. The gong, for sure. I'm wondering if anybody did anything with the gong sounds, because we had like... I mean, obviously you could make a pad out of that. Yeah, I can tell you that using this plugin is going to be a problem because I got to remember that it turns off my mic when I'm playing. Not always the best thing. I'm going to mute it for now. Let me mute this plugin. This will be great though when I'm like actually tracking like an instrument, like the other day, and I was playing the guitar parts and my mic was on, and when I played it, it just sounded to me terrible on the speakers. Do I have a stethoscope mic? No, but how are you saying that you take a stethoscope and turn it into a mic, or is there a stethoscope mic? I mean, is that a thing? Yeah, Travis, cool. Ah, the gong. Yes, Michael. My gong. That will be a good one. Yeah, I got me wondering about the stethoscope mic. That would be something interesting to try. Oh, one of the guys, you said one of the Springs files made a good bell sound. Yeah, I was trying so hard to get in here early and be prepared and actually mess around with these samples. But, okay, I want to know one thing here. Become the Night. What's going on? One builds a mic on a stethoscope. Huh. Interesting. Oh, the Yugi folder is corrupted and I've downloaded it twice? Huh. Hold on. Hold on. Did anybody else experience any problems with that? The Yugi box folder? Let me see. Oh. They're playing here. I wonder if I can... I'm going to compress that separately. And said it works fine for you. I wonder if I can add it to the post on Patreon. Hold on a sec, because I want everybody to have everything that they need. Let's see. Can I do that? I don't want to mess up my post, though. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. There is... Can I add another... I'll tell you what. Hey, Ring System... Send an email to contactbillyhume@gmail.com and I'll just shoot you the file over. I'll just do a WeTransfer or something if it's a problem for you. Oh, thanks, Chronic Dream. Dude, I appreciate it so much. You're always tipping me on my live streams. Oh no, your brother lost his home. Oh my God. So sorry. I knew you were out there. That's what I was saying earlier. Like, I know people out there. Heck, we should be sending you guys money. Thanks so much. Really appreciate it. Wow, I'm so sorry about that. God. Man. So Ring System Music, send me an email and I'll just shoot it to you. And let me check it real quick. Like I said, this is a completely random live stream today, but good chance to catch up and talk to people and stuff too. Jamie, if you're on the stream now, I know that you're watching but not commenting. I've not had a chance to listen to that album. I've just been absolutely slammed. But Jamie, are you going to do a sample song? Huh? Come on. Get your brother there to sing on it. I've not talked to Pistol in a while. Do something. You sing on it, get Pistol on it. Join the contest, man. Hold on. Yeah, so go ahead and shoot me an email at contactbillyhume@gmail.com and I'll just shoot over whatever you're not getting. If there's something wrong. One of them said that the Yu-Gi-Oh! Box samples were corrupted or something like that. So, okay, so you're saying there's a guy, Maz, you're saying, look up a guy named Diego Stocco and watch how he uses a stethoscope mic. I'll do that right.
That sounds interesting.
I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to punch that in. I'm going to put that into YouTube. It's amazing how much I learned from y'all. Like, hold on. But I already forgot the guy's name. God, I'm terrible. Hold on. Diego. I have no memory. Stocco. Okay, I'm looking it up. And, okay, there's his channel. Now I go to, whoa, stop. And then I'm going to search his channel. I'm going to put in stethoscope. S-T-E-T-H. That should be enough, right? Maybe he uses it all the time. I think this is the right. Is this the right person right here? But like I was saying, I learned so much from y'all, and somebody had talked about the Roar plugin in Ableton, which was another thing I was going to do today, and I just didn't.
Hey, John.
Oh, is John Clark here?
Yep.
Oh, John. John.
He said he sees his bobcat.
Oh, hold on. Let me turn on my lab mic. All right. I think y'all can hear me. Okay. John. Bob is waiting for you. Bob is waiting for you. I'm just concerned about the bobcat you're bringing to trade. Yeah. Seriously, like he's bringing a bobcat to trade. Yeah, there you can see the bobcat right behind me there. Because when he told me about this, he held his hands out and he said, Bob's this big, but I don't know, I don't know what the name of this other bobcat is, but this one is this big, Kit.
Oh, where?
I don't know where we're going to put a bigger bobcat. There's barely room for Bob right there. But I have a feeling there's something special about this bobcat. I don't think he actually was supposed to give it to me, and he got in trouble. He's been hinting at it for like a year or so, and I keep ignoring him. But no, last time he said, no, I have to get the bobcat back. I'm like, all right, man. Let's see. Well, what was I talking about? Yeah. So I think is this okay? Thanks, Lucas. Yes, I will check this out. This Diego Stocco. So I'm going to put it back up here. Actually, I'm just going to hit subscribe, and then I'm going to put this back up here and check that out. But yeah, I learned so much on these live streams, and I learned so much from all of y'all, and I'm going to get to the micro sampling thing maybe later today, because I want to learn something new, and I got to look up this Roar plugin. I don't know if I can easily get it without a bunch of trouble. Let's see. Oh, let's see. You watched a video about a company. What company is that, Gaz, that's putting out their plugins for free?
Oh, and somebody was asking, where'd it go? Another question about what they can do with the files. Oh, I lost it.
Oh, is there another question?
Yes.
Oh, and also, I think all the rules are up on Discord.
Shoot, I gotta go get your
Hey, I think we need to rename that channel on the Discord. It's like community. No, it does say contest on it, but it's not really obvious. I think we should just change it. Because, hey, and Casey, by the way, Casey's here, who mods on the live stream and also pretty much is kind of running the Discord for me these days. But Casey, I feel like we're going to do more of these contest type things. So if you could just change the name of that channel where it says, what the heck does it say? And it's kind of like not clear. It took me a while to find it, but let's just call it contest. Let's just make it a contest channel and just focus it on that, because I want to do this again. I've got other ideas. I'm not going to say, John, you broke your leg yesterday. What the heck? Oh my God. I hope you're not canceling the recording session. Dude, come on, man. Come on, man. You got to get in here and record the song. Oh my God. It's just been crazy. I hope it was, did you like fall on the ice and snow? Because you're out there. Oh, hold on. Sorry, I was still on my lav. Thanks. Somebody said my mic sounded bad. Thanks, Nikki. Appreciate it. Yeah, I forgot to switch from the lav. I got this terrible little lav here I bought. It's actually a good rig. It's just the mic itself is cheap and sounds bad. I can't really afford to buy a new mic right now, and I want to get one. Yeah, I got it, Nikki. Thanks. Let's see. How can you join Discord? Actually, Grant, that's a good question. There's this thing like Nikki, please post a link up there. Kit ran to get my coffee. There's something weird about the Discord that if you go there the wrong way, you can't join. But if you use our link, you can. And I don't understand why that is. But you got to like use a specific link. I'm still learning Discord. I have Casey, who's way smarter than me, handling that for me. You can't put a link? Well, Casey, how do we get people over there? John, you are riding behind a side-by-side with a ski rope on a door in the snow. I can only imagine. Oh, my God. Wait, you're not authorized to change the name of a channel? I guess I need to up your privileges. I thought you had God privileges. Hold on, let me write a note down. God, I feel like today's stream is just like catching up with everybody, chatting, but also catching up on business and stuff. Hold on. Here's my notes sheet. Like, I've been scrambling. Hold on. KC privileges. KC. Okay, we'll get that later today. Because I just think we should make it a contest channel because we're going to do more of these for sure. Okay, thanks, John. Good. Yeah, because I've got Harper coming over to help on that. He's going to come the night before and help me get set up. And then he'll be here in the morning. Casey, what are you saying? Billy, listen? What, did I miss some sound here or something like that? Nikki's asking, what horn do you use for recording? Nikki, I've used a bunch of different ones. I've used an AKG 414. I've used Sennheiser 421s. You know, the thing I think is just to make sure that the mic is not too close to the horn. Give it some space. Get it out a couple feet or something like that. But I'm no real horn expert. But if you're like, I do know, like, say, if you're recording a saxophone, you don't necessarily want the mic over the bell because there's a sound coming out of other parts. So I think with a horn, there's sound it's not like this one discrete place where the sound's coming out of. So I'd say, like, just back the mic off in general. Hello, Cicely. What's going on? Oh, you're not authorized to post links on the YouTube chat. Oh, you know what? Hey, so Casey's not.
Oh, you know what? I don't know that we've given him the right.
Okay.
We did it on Twitch.
So,
but not
Casey, I need to
YouTube.
make you a mod on YouTube. That's what it is. That actually, Kit, you mentioned that the other day. So,
I
Casey,
did.
we're going to give you mod privileges on YouTube. Kit, can you? What was the link? I already forgot. Oh, Kit, can you put the Discord link up on YouTube?
Yeah. Jake, you don't know by now what the coffee is?
This is Cafe Bustelo. Come on.
How long has Billy been doing this?
Become the Night. Email me if you want to reach at me at contactbillyhume@gmail. Please don't call Crystal. There's still a phone number floating out there on the internet on my old website, which we're trying to get changed. And since my YouTube channel has blown up, she's like getting regular calls from people, and everybody's really super nice. But it's just kind of like, frankly, we're a little overwhelmed here between work and the studio, and we got kids and the snowstorm and the cat that pees on anything that lays on the floor.
If it's fabric and it's on the floor, it's fair game.
Yeah, so you can't leave anything on the floor because Gigi will pee on the damn thing, and oh my God, there's so much going on.
Why don't you turn off your Discord notifications?
I don't know how to do that.
What?
Here, I'm just going to quit Discord because it's going to drive me nuts.
Yes, Become the Night. All one word, lowercase.
Yeah, contact billyhume@gmail if you want to reach out to me. John,
hey, you know, that channel name has already been changed. Casey was on it.
Oh, thanks, Casey. Appreciate it. John, you said you like this. John, you need to come on one of my streams when I'm actually doing something instead of just talking BS. I was completely unprepared today. Although I would like to say, once again, everybody, please watch my new video. This is the thumbnail. This is the thumbnail of my new video. It's about luck. And the name of the video is Luck is a Skill. And I just put it up about an hour ago. And it's a true story. It's actually the story of my life and how I realized I was actually lucky and I didn't realize it. So she's going to put a link up to that if y'all can go watch it. It's life-changing for me. For me, it was. And I hope it'll be life-changing for other people because we all need a little luck. And if you can throw a little luck in your own way, that would be good. Let's see. Oh, thanks. The photo. Hey, you know what? I will. Should I play the end of the video?
No, that's an Easter egg. Leave it
There's
alone.
something that happens. That picture, the thumbnail, This thumbnail here is actually from the end of the video. You need to watch the whole video, but something cool happens at the end. It's very short, but I'm very happy about it. So that's where that picture is from. This is that's actually where I live. That's the dock and on my property. I will say the water wasn't actually quite that blue, but I did make it bluer. And everybody yelled at me and said it was too blue. I said, no, I want it bluer. So I made the water a little bluer. Casey, you can tell me how to mute the Discord notifications. I can tell you. Okay, well, are we going to do it here live? I mean, what else am I doing on my live stream? Hold on.
I'm trying to scroll back and find questions.
Yeah, did you put the Discord link up?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Didn't I? I think I did. No. I put the new video link up.
Right,
I'll do the Discord link again.
Probably I could figure it out here. Hold on, Casey. I'm going to bring this down to this screen. I don't have it online. Okay. Let's see.
Your vocal mix is good.
The settings. I had the lab mic on for the longest time. Notifications.
To the Skull Bar. Yeah, actually, we do too, Roth. We want to go to the Skull Bar. Hey, Burble83 over on Twitch. Welcome.
Yeah, see, there's people posting on Discord right now. That's why you're hearing that. There's all these things in here. Oh, dang, Casey, maybe you do need to tell me what to do here. I thought this would be easy. Man, Discord, look at this. Discord is complicated. I just went to notifications like enable unread message badge. How do I just turn off the sound? Isn't there something that just says sound?
Can't you just, is it a tab? Are you in a browser?
Huh? I mean, it's an app.
Oh, you're using the app. Okay.
Yeah, I'm using the app. Oh my God. Oh, here we go. Enable same channel settings. Disable all sound notifications. Oh, I can just hit that button. Boom. Okay, there we go.
Top of the server, main page, right-click the server name.
Well, I think I might have figured it out. Hold on.
Okay.
He said top of the page, right? What'd you say?
Top of the... I'm reading from Fragile. Casey's probably down here too. Top of the server on the main page, right-click the server name. Oh, John, yes. We're a little messy today. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Notifications. Suppress. Mute. I don't know. I mean, they say mute, but I think that means other things. I think I turned it off. I think I turned it off in another section. So, okay. All right. I think I got it, though, in another way. Oh, Mark's saying that's how he lost my Discord channel the first time because he muted it. Oh my God. I've got to tell you, man, Discord is, I'm getting on there and I know people like getting on there and my kids like it, but it's a struggle for me. It's not easy. Oh, cool. Thanks for changing the name of that. All right. Well, I mean, while I'm here, is there any, yeah, that's what I did. Estelon, I turned off just the Discord noises all the way because I want to keep it open, but I keep hearing that damn sound in there. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, new to Discord vibes.
Yeah, Kyle, it's tough. And I just realized looking on Patreon today, I need to get over there and look up a couple things. You know, it's like the thing. Here's another thing that's kind of a struggle for me right now, and it kind of goes back to what I was talking about earlier about how I have a way of like my whole life I keep putting myself in these situations. I got a lot more responsibility in these things that I'm not prepared to do, but I do them anyway, which is why I called today Unplanned and Unprepared. But it's what moved me forward, and that is like most of my career, and it took me decades to realize this, and I only realized this about 2 years ago. Most of my career has been reactive. I never thought of myself as being reactionary, but it was true because I got a reputation as a mixer and a producer and a studio owner. And once I worked on some hit records and people heard my work, then all I did, and even to a certain degree, I just waited for the phone to ring. I mean, yeah, you go out, you meet people, you find out about a band, and maybe you go to their gig and you talk to them. But ultimately, most of my work has been about just the phone rings or you get an email and like they either hire you or you don't. With the YouTube channel and the Patreon thing and all the social media stuff is completely opposite. I have to be proactive every day. I can't wait for something to happen. I have to go make something happen. which is kind of tough because sometimes I'm just being a little baby about things and I don't feel like doing anything. But I'm getting there. But it kind of comes back to the whole planning thing. I'm a terrible planner. See, when I was being reactionary, I would sometimes work for literally like years where I could hardly get a day off because I was getting so many calls. And sorry, Casey, I'm trying to. I'll get back over to Twitch in a minute. But I am realizing that I have to change my way of thinking and be more proactive, but that's kind of hard. So that's why I end up like not being prepared for my live streams because I'm just not used to planning. I feel like it's gone a little better lately. I think that the sampling live stream went pretty good, and the one last Wednesday when I was playing guitars actually went pretty well, even though I was tripping out about it. But it's just been this major change. So it's only been about 2 years that it really hit me that I need to actually be proactive. And that might sound funny to some of you because probably that your lives are that way anyway, but it's not been for me. I've been in this little nice producer mixer bubble, and then people just called me up. But this is a different thing. I have to push out my work. I have to push out my post and my personality and the things I believe in. And then I also got to take the criticism, because even when I was having hit songs, I mean, winning a Grammy was great, but I got some text messages and shit, and it was cool. But with the videos, people can say things back. Like, I've actually gotten a lot of videos where people complain about my hair. Apparently, I should get my hair cut.
Apparently you're ungroomed.
I'm ungroomed. Yeah, somebody said Rick Beato grooms himself and cleans himself up. Maybe you should too, like shave or something. I'm like, I thought I was. I mean, aren't I dressed? Isn't this kind of dressed up now?
Yes.
Well, never mind. But it's a different thing. It's like it kind of puts me out in front of everybody. So that's another thing. It's another reason I'm freaking out. Let's see. My synth dungeon. I made it. Coffee on? Yes, I got the coffee. I'm drinking the coffee. And my synth dungeon, by the way, there's no agenda. I'm just here talking about the new video and kind of catching up with people. And, you know, sorry I ignored you guys on Twitch. Fragile, yes, so Fragile, you are right. Twitch is more profitable for the live streams. I just don't get many people watching. On the replays, however, you can make more money on YouTube.
The videos in general, if you've got a very successful channel, are ultimately more profitable than the live streaming on Twitch. Except, I mean, I'm sure there are examples that defy what I just said. But in general, and, you know, we want to make sure that the YouTube community is supported and that all of y'all over on YouTube feel like you can be a part of this yourselves. So you're right. We're kind of missing out somewhat on Twitch. Twitch can be a lot of fun to watch live streams. And there's some great communities over there. But, apologies, Twitch folks. It's a little quiet over there.
You're saying make an effort. So this is Fragile over on Twitch, who's always on my live streams and been very helpful and involved in the streams. It's like make an effort to get people over. I was live streaming on Twitch a lot 2 or 3 years ago, sometimes 2 or 3 times a week. And I mean, I was lucky to get 2 or 3 people watching. I was also doing like 7-hour-long streams. And I just don't, like on YouTube, I get people watching and come on my live streams because I'm starting to get views on the videos and then they see that. I don't really know how to build up an audience on Twitch. If you got any suggestions, please let me know, because I do like the culture on Twitch a lot. I feel like people get really into it because I've got some friends that have really great followings and I watch their streams like, oh, it's a really cool vibe. But I just have not been able to get much attention there. I also have problems with the notifications. And for some reason, whenever I go to schedule my streams, if I try to do a one-off schedule, just a one-off stream, I can't save it. It has to be like every Wednesday, like even for today's live stream, I normally stream on Wednesday. I had to delete that and tell it, I always stream on Saturdays just to even get it to save. It just doesn't work for me. I don't really know why. I mean, I would love to build up the Twitch. So if you've got any suggestions for Geely, please let me know. I'm all ears because I really want to grow this, and I love live streaming. As much as I get freaked out doing the live streams and always get nervous, I'm nervous before every live stream. I absolutely love doing this, and I like interacting with people. And like I said, I learn so much from people on the live streams. And it's caused, like, the plugin I'm using for my mic today, for the auto mute thing, or Mute-O-Matic, just a ton of things. I mean, even the only reason we're having the sample song contest is because somebody suggested it during a live stream. It wasn't, I mean, I've thought of that sort of thing in the past, but it was actually somebody on a live stream said, why don't you do that? And I was like, well, here we go. You should probably give that person a medal, but I can't remember who it was. So I want to grow this, but any suggestion anybody's got, please let me know any way you can help, because I would love to, I would live stream 2 or 3 times a week if it, there's a certain amount of, to be honest with you, financial incentive. I've got to be able to make some money off of it. And the YouTube thing is growing. It's getting there. I would literally, if that's all I had to do, live stream, because it's just fun. I mean, I like making the videos too. I love that. But at a certain point, I do got to pay bills. So, Yes, Estelon. Oh, so Nikki actually suggested that I do a live stream about recording live drums. And I think he asked several times because he's a very persistent person. But Nikki, we were actually talking about that last night. I'm not making any promises. But I was actually thinking about how to do that. And I actually called Dave Anthony. I don't know if he's on here right now. He texted right before the live stream. There's a particular drummer I want to work with, and what we would do is I've got a big room upstairs where I've got 16 mic lines run, and I would like to use Dave because that dude knows how to hit the drums, man. He just knows how to hit the drums. He's got that magic. I don't know, man. So I'm thinking about getting him out here, and it would be a long live stream. I would need Harper here running sound, Kit doing chat, a cameraman.
And we'd have to run lines up to the drum room.
Well, we already got lines to run up there.
Well, true.
I've got
the cameras.
Yes, I have a line for camera and a line for a monitor.
Oh, you've got a line for camera, too.
I do have one camera line and one monitor line run up there permanently along with the mic lines, but I want 2 cameras because I feel like we need an overhead, room, wide shot, and then I want to have somebody moving the black magic around for the close-ups. But that's going to be an extra cable that I probably have. I've got like a 75-foot long HDMI I can run up there. So, yeah, Nikki, we're already talking about it. It ain't going to be anytime soon because I'm slammed. But I really absolutely think that I think that's a great idea. I will do a live drum recording, live stream at some point. But it's going to take a team. It's going to be so it'll be Kit, Harper, me, Dave, a cameraman, maybe somebody else to run around if I want to do it, because I don't want to do a half-assed job of this stuff. If I'm going to do this, I want to do it the right way. So it's going to probably be a 6-person team just to pull that off. Let's see. Sorry. Yeah. Oh, hold on. Do I sleep? No, John, I don't sleep. Not at all.
Yeah, right. I'm going back and finding questions that I missed. Huffle had asked, do you have thoughts on mixing metal music, like common challenges you might face?
I don't really mix that much heavy metal music. I know it's very technical. Like every time I've done it, I had to use a lot of drum samples, no matter how good I mic the drums and all that. There's so much competition with the guitars. I find myself like, oh, I'm going to have to use a really clicky kick drum sample in there, and I'm never replacing. It's usually layered on top. But I've read about heavy metal producers and mixers, and they're using samples on the cymbals and stuff. It's like really technical. It's very manufactured. I'll say that much, and it's very tweaky because you got to think about heavy metal. The reason it's hard to mix because everything's just noise. Think about that. It's not like you got a noisy, distorted guitar here and then an acoustic guitar, and it's easy to separate them. And heavy metal, everything's distorted. So you got to really pick the frequencies. The other thing, and I will say this about heavy metal and electric guitars in particular, mid-range is your friend. Mid-range is your friend. And what you got to do is go to every electric guitar, get a somewhat narrow bandwidth and boost up the mid-range frequency and just feel like, and do it with everything playing. You'll find little different areas where one particular guitar is going to sound good at, say, like 1.3K or 900 hertz or, 2.1K. it's amazing how much of a difference you can get between, say, 1.7K and 1.2K, and you do a little nudge, maybe 2 or 3 dB on a narrow bandwidth on a couple electric guitars and nudge those sections up. It's going to help define them. But mid-range is the answer on electric guitars. That's all I can say. Spend a lot of time working with the mid-range.
Oh, somebody says, Eric says, what happened to the last stream's awesome riff?
Oh, I hadn't had any time. It came out so good though. There were so many great. Oh, by the way, hold on, I want to back up. Gaz, was that you who suggested the sample song contest? Because he says, "Oh, I don't want to take any credit," but maybe it was. I said whoever did that deserves a medal. Unfortunately, I don't have any medals. But I can make one for you. Yes, the riff is great. I want to get some drums on it. I'm thinking about hitting up Sleepyhead if I can get him up here to play drums. But there were some really great suggestions on the last live stream, and one of the best ones was somebody saying to use the 12 string. I was like, nah, I don't know. And then it was like, oh, which caused me to play that and then grab the little mini guitar and do it an octave up, and it came out so cool. I just got to figure out, I want a B section, and I tried to do it on a live stream and I couldn't figure it out, and I've just had no time. But I actually got another song I'm going to work on tonight. So later on tonight, I'm going to swing back over to my song Poison. I got to work on that more because it ties into video. But actually, the riff came out great, and a lot of it was y'all. Y'all had some great ideas in there, so it was very inspiring.
So Nakuda had a question here. I'm not exactly sure. It says Reaper/AP twin/PC Akai MPK 249. The MIDI instruments are clipping. Spitefire Orchestra simple piano plugin can't figure where.
Hold on.
So
hey,
Nakuda, that's.
Hold on. Thanks, Chronic Dream. I'll see you later. Where is this comment at?
Oh, it's quite a bit up.
Is it in YouTube or Instagram?
It's in YouTube. Hey, Nakuda, if you're there, if you can rephrase your question, we'll see if we can get to it.
I'm confused.
Also, Jasmine asked, would it be all right if I burned these, meaning the samples, to EPROMs and then did something with my drum tracks? So I don't know enough to know what that means.
Like, I haven't heard the term EPROM in a long time. Isn't that like a way to put the samples inside a hardware unit? I mean, as long as you're playing the samples, I mean, I guess that'd be cool. Isn't that just like the equivalent of putting it in like a drum rack plugin in Ableton so you can just, trigger the sounds and stuff like that? I mean, I guess so. I mean, elaborate. I'm actually really curious. Dio says, hello, Billy. I've seen some videos of you. Really good. Thanks for sharing your experience. I wanted to know if you have any kind of synthesis knowledge. Not really. Like, I don't really know. I can twist the knobs. I know some real basic stuff about how they're made, but I couldn't really tell you the difference between FM synthesis or anything like that. And here's the other thing, and I'm going to be totally honest with you all about this. I had this reputation of being an engineer because I engineered a lot of records and kind of helped define some sounds that people still talk about and all that kind of stuff. But I don't have any freaking idea what I'm doing. Like, I know what an EQ does. I know how to work a compressor and all that. But, somebody, like, for instance, when I was like, I've got the video called Was It All Worth It or Was It a Waste of Time, where I took this board apart and I just bought it and I cleaned it and all that. Somebody asked me, is that a transformer or transformerless mixer? And I was like, I know what that means, but it didn't occur to me to actually wonder. And then they were like, no, it's transformerless. It's like, cool. I don't know. Shit, I gotta say, man, Dio, I don't really know. Now, if you put a couple synthesizers in front of me, I assure you I'd make something cool. But no, I don't really know any. That's my long answer. Casey's over there. If you love and have Twitch, say hi to me over there. I'm kind of alone.
Yeah, it's Casey and Fragile, but at least they've got good things to say.
Let's see. There is. I love Twitch, says Troy. Yeah,
So-
I love Twitch too. I can't get a following over there, and half the time Twitch does not send out my
I know. I never get a
notifications.
notification.
They
It's
went out.
been an issue.
Fragili got a notification on Twitch today, but I can't figure it out. Let's see. Let me go down here. There are some more comments.
Well, yeah. Elijah asked, "What do you think are the best pieces of equipment that they could get to get the best sound for relatively cheap?" As in, like, best pieces of equipment I can get to get the best sound I can get for relatively cheap. What kinds of equipment, Elijah? I don't have anything right now, but the goal is to get this song on the charts. Like, what kinds of equipment are you talking about, Elijah?
Yeah, we'll come back to that in a second. Michael says, yes, the board video. I will never forget the discussion between you and you and you in the car. Thanks so much. That was a real pain in the butt to film. But the thing is that actually does go on in my mind. There's so much stuff going on in my head all the time. I couldn't even explain it to you. It's just bonkers. Like right now, I've got a song going on in my head and 2 other conversations, but that had nothing to do with this live stream. It's just how I am. Hey, DJ Burn One, what's going on, man? Hey, DJ, you need to come over on one of my live streams. This is kind of an unusual one. DJ Burn One lives not too far from here, so maybe come and hang out sometime. How do I thread the tape onto my reel-to-reel from one reel to the other? What? Are you serious? Hold on. Do EPROMs have to be erased with a VU light to take the step? What are you talking? What is going on over here? I don't even know what y'all are talking about. Longtime Reaper user here, this Rabitus. Yeah, I've thought about using Reaper. Let's see. Did we ever figure out about the question about the gear?
I don't see.
How do I keep track? So Andrea is asking, how do we keep track of my thoughts and ideas? Hold on.
Oh, yes.
Oh, my God.
I mean, it's too bad. Do you have a camera so they can see the whole pile?
Basically, it's like this. I know there's software for us. I've got things like that. And this is the new one here. This is just from last night. And a bunch of stuff got crossed out. And then this will go in my pocket, or I'll put it here. And then I walk down. It's like, I'll write all these notes on here. Like, I got all these ideas, and I'll get them in the morning. So I'll put it right here on my keyboard. And the next morning I come down here and I have lots of notes around here. And I got actually, let's see. Oh, I got to get the masters to Zach. Hey, did we schedule Kingsland for Thursday?
I'll have to look.
That might be coming up. I got somebody coming in to help me with my tape machines, and I got to film it. I don't know if I'm prepared. But yeah, it's just notes on pieces of paper. I tried some software and all that, and it's the piece of paper I like because it's always laying in my way, and it pisses me off. I'm like, if it's on my phone or something, I can ignore that. Even if there's a ring, I can turn it off. But this, Ray!
Holy
my
cow!
God, thank
Travis
you.
Ray. His name's Travis.
Travis Ray. Sorry, I'm back. I am dyslexic. I will say that. Thanks so much.
Crunk Monkey's helping us out here, says Nakuda 9 is sequencing virtual orchestra and virtual piano in Reaper, but it's clipping. Sounds like the latency might need to be increased. Or not clipping, perhaps stuttering is the better word.
Wait, what's going on?
Okay, remember we had the question about the gear, Reaper and AP Twin, Akai. Oh, wait, no, not gear. The one about MIDI instruments clipping. Spitefire Orchestra simply. So they're asking, let's see, they're sequencing virtual orchestra and virtual piano in Reaper, but it's clipping. Crunk Monkey is suggesting that maybe the latency needs to be increased.
I mean, maybe just turn it down.
Travis suggests buffer.
I mean, the clipping, like I know in Ableton, if I'm trying to overdo stuff, I'll get noises, but clipping, maybe, and I was really careful on the sample library that I made for y'all. I have a tendency to make my samples and then they're really loud and I drop them in something and I put a plug-in on it and then see I'm clipping. So I tried to leave some headroom for everybody. But it might just be the samples are loud. Just try turning down the output of the sampler first. That would be the main thing. I mean, I I guess would latency cause clipping? I don't know.
Yes, John, it's Saturday.
Yes, James. Oh, you know what? Hey, James, I do. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to play a little commercial here. Here's an answer to your question. I love doing these live streams and answering your questions. I know sometimes I can't get into too much detail because I'm trying to get to everybody else's questions. But if you go to my YouTube channel, you'll find videos about recording, mixing, production, as well as my past live streams. If you still want more in-depth knowledge, I do one-on-one private coaching and tutoring online to help you record and mix your songs. But we can also talk about the music business, your live stream setup, your studio setup, filming, editing, whatever. When we're talking, the time is yours. We're going to focus on what you need. I also occasionally record on people's songs live online while they watch so we can interact like we're in the studio together. If you're interested in doing any of this on an ongoing, regular basis, you can join my Patreon and sign up for private consultations. However, if you just want some help here and there when you need it, you can reach out to us at contactbillyhume@gmail.com and we'll take care of you. Now, back to our regular programming. So yeah, the easiest thing to do would just be email me at contactbillyhume@gmail. That gets the fastest response. Sometimes I forget to get on Patreon for a couple days. Like I just checked it a minute ago or a little while ago and I was like, oh, I'm a little behind. But yeah, just email me there. Hold on. Thanks, John. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Hold on. Let's see.
You rock.
There's people are talking about technical stuff. Oh, Travis, he's talking about the stuttering. Yeah, that's probably just buffer stuff. The funny thing is like in Ableton, if I'm doing something and I don't have the buffer up high enough, and it'll sometimes when it starts to mess up, it actually is kind of cool. So I've actually kind of liked that a couple times. Yeah, John. Hey, John, by the way, I've not heard from the drummer yet about the session. Make sure to have him give me a call. I want to plan a couple things in advance. And you're welcome to. Thanks again, John. And also, John, if you want to bring over, somebody to film some stuff, like do so because we got 5 musicians plus you. So I thought about live streaming it, but I think that's too much distraction. But I'll probably be filming some stuff. Let's see.
Yeah, y'all. I have been running around. I think I've missed questions. So, if you have questions you'd like answered, throw them back in the chat.
Travis, you say you like recording cell phone interference. This is kind of weird, but sometimes if I'm listening to the radio in the car and, you pull up to a light, you're under some power lines and it starts to buzz, I'll slowly move the car and kind of check out actually, I really like that stuff.
Actually, on your Frisbee Bomb Craters album, you have a song where you used old answering machine messages. And
yes. I love messing with audio.
Yeah.
Just weird stuff. Yeah. Yeah, it's actually the very last song, the end of the last song on this record is all answering machine messages and a little sound behind it. So,
I'll put the Bandcamp link
best
up.
studio snack. Chocolate. Always chocolate. And I would add chocolate. Let's see if there's any other questions here.
What about tortilla chips?
Oh, thanks, Mick. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much. I just put, and Mick, check it out. I've got a new video up that I just put up today. This is the thumbnail right here. It's about luck. You should go check that one out. And I've got a new video coming up about, I actually already did a sampling video where I made drum samples from garbage cans for my song Poison. I've got another video where I'm working on another section of the song with new samples. I actually got to finish working on that tonight. But yeah, and I've got some cool story videos coming up soon.
M&Ms, that's right.
Oh
Kaz.
yeah, M&Ms, yeah.
And chew them in the mic, huh?
So Megan, I'm just going to say Megan. I can't figure out the name. I love screwing around with phasing and can do a lot for that on bass. So Megan, I've got some videos where I'm multi-micing a guitar amp, right? And I'll take a mic and then I'll move one back and as I'm moving it back, I switch the phase, and it'll like completely cancel out some stuff, but it'll be like just the most amazing guitar sound. And I love, I do a lot of intentional phasing stuff on the guitars. You know, people always say, oh, your phase. It's like, yeah, sometimes that's kind of cool, you know? A lot of people don't know that the song by Dire Straits, is it Money for Nothing? Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
Money for nothing, and you kick
Chicks
for free. That song, guitar part, and he's playing at the beginning. They recorded that at, I think, Compass Studios in the Bahamas. I think it might have been there. They mic'd up the amp, but when he started playing, the engineer accidentally had some extra mics on. There was like a mic that was like pointed at the floor or something like that. And he was like, what is that sound? They went ahead and recorded it, but he hadn't really perfected the part. They wrote down all the settings, right? What mic it was, you know, measured it with a tape measure and all that. They never could recreate the sound in another studio, but it was all out of phase. Like there's mics that aren't even supposed to be there. That's why it sounds that way. So they just left what would basically be a scratch guitar part, which is what the beginning of that song is.
So does your brain ever stop and rest, even when you're sleeping?
No. Oh, my God. So I've been having these dreams lately. What was the one? Sometimes I'm just mixing in a dream, and I can't nail a sound. But I had 3 nights in a row where every dream was about traveling. One was like I was on a motorcycle, and I was stuck in traffic, but my saddlebags kept falling off. And so the light was red, and it's about to turn green. I go, my saddlebag falls off. So I got to pull over, and I'm trying to get the saddlebag back on the bike. I'm like, okay. I get on the bike, and the light turns green. I go, and then my saddlebag falls off again. And then there was another one where I was driving a car. I don't know, every night. It's just, I wake up tired sometimes from my dream. It's been bad lately. Just terrible.
He wakes up and is like, what is wrong with me?
Okay, Malcolm is asking, I'm not sure if I understand this question. Malcolm says, over on YouTube, hey, Billy, love the videos. Thank you. Do you have advice for controlling gear acquisition syndrome? Even if I'm in a good position with money, do you have any advice? I mean, if you got money, I'd say probably the best thing you could do is just go buy more gear. Then you'll get over it, right?
Enabler.
Huh? Hey, you could also do this other thing, Malcolm. Let's say you just keep buying gear, and probably the problem is like your house is getting full of gear. I know a place where you could store some. Just saying, But I will say this, Malcolm, and I'm totally serious on this, and because somebody actually asked me the other day about this, about like getting rid of a piece of gear and getting something else. Don't sell anything. Like if it's gear, do not sell anything, because you will buy something and then you'll use it and you'll think, this isn't any good anymore. And then 20 years later, you're going to regret selling it, which I've done. And I've got examples around here of things that I thought were crap. Like, and I know I've shown this on the stream before, but I'll bring it up again because I love this. But this is a, oh my God, I can't get, I can go to this camera. My Rockman Sustainer. Oh, here it is. Oh, maybe I can't get it on the front camera. Can y'all see that? I don't know if I'm in view here. Let me just go to this one. This is a Rockman Sustainer, and it's by Tom Schultz, who made the little Rockman carry-on things. And
thank you, Tiwanaku Metal.
I got this in a pawn shop in the 90s, brought it home, and I thought it was terrible. And then I put it on a shelf literally for like 15 years. And a few years ago, I pulled it out and I was like, this thing's amazing. But or like this. Oh, I can't. Actually, I can maybe.
You have a video where you talk about how you were young and dumb and you traded your tape echo delay
Don't talk about that.
A pair of tennis shoes.
This right here. This is an Alesis wedge. I know you can't see it that well. And I got that back in the 90s, and I used it on like some of the first Little John records I made, and then, got into the computer stuff. And I remember liking it. And then I put it away, and I pulled it back out for a video I made called, I compared all my old reverbs to my plugins or something like that. It's actually got a few views on it. And Nick, Kid, if you could put a link up to that. But I compared all my old outboard reverbs, even these cheap MIDI verbs back here behind me that were considered jokes back in the day. But it's been like 2 years or so. it's amazing how good they sound compared to the plugins. And I got the wedge here because there's a room on there, there's a sound on there called Cedar Room, which I used on a lot of rap records. And I ended up using it on a rehab record last year. It was like the perfect sound. So the point is, no matter how much gear you're buying, don't sell anything. You will regret it. That's the best advice I can give you. Oh, thank you.
Tiwanaku Metal.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
And they're asking, so when is it time to invest in outboard gear? Preamps and the like. Currently using Studio One 7 Tascam Model 12. Please help save my bank account.
I don't understand what you're saying about Tascam Model 2. I know what Studio One is, but what's Tascam Model 12? Is that like a mixer or something like that? I'm not sure what that is.
Thank you, John.
I mean, I think it kind of comes down to like how serious you are. Because like on the last live stream, somebody was saying something about, getting like a 2-channel interface. It kind of depends on where you think you're going to go with production. For me, I figured out a long time ago that no matter what I buy, within a few days or a couple months, I'm going to end up trying to do more with it than it's designed for. So that's why I always have more inputs and all that. It's just my nature. I overdo everything. But I'd say here's the thing about the hardware. A good piece of hardware is going to last you for years. Like I've got a couple of Avalon VT737s here. I got in the 90s. I've changed the tubes like 2 or 3 times. I could probably change them out more. I've got microphones that are older than my clients. I've got microphones from the 80s that I still use, and they've never been serviced. They sound fine. Your computer's going to wear out. Your plugins are going to become, obsolete. But when to buy them? I wouldn't go crazy on it, but a good mic pre will take you a long way. For me, I would say, like, get a good mic pre and like a good outboard compressor for vocals and maybe acoustic guitar or something like that. That will really go a long way. But I don't know how to tell somebody when is the best time, because we all have different kinds of lives. Like, you got to understand, I only care about a few things in life. I care about music and being creative. I care about my family, Crystal, the things I love, and I care about adventure, like risking my life and taking chances. I like doing things kind of like that. The rest I could give a shit about. I could give a damn about shoes. I shop at Goodwill. I don't buy new things. It's just not important to me. I guess I'm kind of like a child. I guess I'm like I do things based on whether I think it's fun. And of course, obviously, it's going to tie into like my career. I mean, yeah, trust me, I see stuff I want to buy all the time. I'm like, actually, it's not really make any sense. But I will, the way I make it's just hard for me to give decisions, advice like that, because the way I figure out whether something's valuable or not is completely different than other people. Because, everybody will say, I'm serious about music, or I'm serious about doing that. I'm serious about it beyond what hardly any of you could possibly understand. I will take amazing chances on things, like even this YouTube channel and the streaming and everything I'm doing tonight. I'm making a little bit money now, but technically speaking, I'm losing money right now. I'm losing work because everybody sees me on here and I'm doing it, but I just know that this is what I want to do. And I've done this multiple times in the past where I made a change in the genre I was doing, or when I went from being a mixer and wanted to really produce more. I took a lot of chances. I'm kind of bonkers that way because I have this kind of way of looking at things like it's kind of all or nothing for me. I'm very committed to things, and I will take insane risk. And, people say, you got to like be comfortable with taking risk. I'm not comfortable at all. I actually freak out all the damn time, but I do it anyway. Yes, it's absolutely true. I'm literally freaking out every freaking day about stuff, but I will. Now, when it comes to buying gear, there's somebody back here who I'll say, hey, so I know I just got this or this compressor, this thing here, whatever, but, it would really be helpful, and I start talking about it, and I just look at her face, and I can kind of tell, like, I just need to quit talking about this, or she'll listen. I'm like, okay. And like the Black Magic camera I've got right here, that was a lot of money. And I didn't have any money. I had no money, but I mentioned it. I'd say things like, boy, I wish I had the money for a Blackmagic camera. And then you found that money from Party Like a Rockstar.
I did. I've been tracking down royalties owed.
And you found me. I don't even want to see the amount, but it wasn't like a fortune, but it was
enough to cover a Blackmagic camera.
She's like,
and some bills.
Because when that money came into the bank account, you're like, hey, this money showed up, and it turned out to be from those royalties. The first thing out of your mouth was like, figure out what you need for the Blackmagic camera, because I've been talking about it for like a year.
Here's the thing about gear acquisition syndrome.
Maybe you should answer this question.
When you figure out, like, man, I could really use this thing, and here's why I want it. Write down the thing and write down why you want it, and then leave it alone for a while. And then if you come back to it, or you find yourself repeatedly getting into situations where you're like, man, if I had that, I could do this. Over time, then maybe put that at the top of your list for something to buy. But don't do it on impulse.
Yeah, now this here was almost an impulse. But
almost.
Look at my notes. When the call came in from Paul Diaz, I had just gotten the studio all fixed up and ready to go. And then he calls me up and says, you want to buy this Ghost console? And he offered me, like, I think I got the board and the whole desk here, which is this. So I got the board and this whole desk here for like $600 or something like that. And we just spent a bunch of money on stuff. And I was just like, Kit.
Sorry. Oh, you're wanting me to say something.
I said, Kit.
I heard my name and then I paid attention.
Paul Diaz called.
Oh, and you
he's
told
got
me
a Ghost console and a desk for $600. But you know enough about what's going on here.
I know enough to know what that meant.
Yeah. And there was a very practical aspect, too, because it's like, yeah, I've got a bunch of mic pre's, but whenever I'm tracking bands, I'm always short a few mic pre's. And this has got, it's not like they're Neves or anything, but there's 24 mic pre's right there. So, boom, it's like, oh, right off the bat, it's going to make it a lot easier to do bands and stuff like that. So we did it. And it was almost impulsive because it was very quick. But, yeah, you're right. Normally when we're talking about gear, I'm like, oh, you guys.
And I tell him to make a list for me, which is how I make him write it down.
Yeah, so there's a Google document up there with a bunch of stuff on it. And then I prioritize it, and she looks at it, and then she'll start asking questions like, so, and I'm like, ooh. So anyway, that'd be the best thing. I think that's really good advice. Maybe just stop and think about it for a while, write it down, and if you still feel strongly about it,
I'm immune to puppy eyes, Casey.
Wait, what's going on?
Casey says, basically, you did your puppy eyes at me, and I relented. I'm immune.
Did I give you puppy eyes?
No. When you were asking me for the money to buy the gear.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I'm going to work my thing,
You're right, Gaz. It is kind of like you should never go food shopping when you're hungry.
Exactly. So over on Twitch, I remember when I tried to copy tape cassettes and somebody came too close with their cell phone and it left clicking noises on the record. Oh, yeah. Your cell phone will put sound into your recordings for sure. Let's see. I was not. Wait, what's going on?
We've got.
There's other conversations going on here, and I'm like,
yeah, there are. Do you have tips for making software synths sound more live?
God, I mean, some distortion. Actually, I got a video where I ran him through an amp. I don't know, more live. I think it's going to come down more to the playing. I mean, I guess it depends on what the sound is too, but I think a lot of people are just over-quantizing stuff. Also, just kind of maybe make them slightly more out of tune. I mean, on all the synths, I usually mess around with the tuning, and sometimes it's just a teeny bit. But a lot of it is like, don't over-quantize things. That's one of the main things people do. They're quantizing everything so much. Like, actually, on the stream I did on Wednesday was layering guitars. A couple of the guitars are not in great shape, so the intonation is out. Somebody said something like, "Boy, when you run that through Melodyne and tune it, it'll sound great." It's like, no, I want it out of tune because I had like 4 guitar parts going. It's like I kind of want them to be, some of them be slightly out of tune. It's going to make it sound bigger, But as to how to make a synth sound more live, I think it would be really about the context. But probably one of the main things is don't quantize it too much. Yes, Malcolm, I'm absolutely glad I got the console. It was one of those things where I felt like, wow, should I get this or not? And I shouldn't be spending the money, but it was a great deal. I got it in here. It was a real pain in the butt to do. Oh, I think my lab battery just ran out here. Hold on. Hey, I'm going to turn off something real. Hold on.
Yeah, that's why I do the grocery shopping, because it is true. Billy is always hungry.
Yeah. But yeah, when I got the console in here and I did the video about it, and then I used it on a couple sessions, and it's like, oh my God, because I had a console sitting in front of me. I mean, I was working in an analog for years, and then I got into digital. But at my other studio, The Zone, I have a 32 channel one of these, and I always had it sitting in front of me, but I kind of took it for granted. Then I moved up here, and we put the studio in here, and I've been like just in the box. You know, I had a little side mixer there that I'd use sometimes for the live stream, but I've had this now since, what was it, August or something?
Oh, I'd have to look back.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Maybe it was, I just remember it was hot. And since then, I've been like so happy having the console. And and just so you know, I'm not mixing on this thing. I do not use this for mixing at all. This is for tracking. I use this when I'm tracking. So it gives me, like, for instance, right now on my live stream, I've got, I don't know if you can see everything here, but I've got, like, here's my mic here. I got to reorder how I'm doing things. I've got my DAW coming in here, my lav here. Over here, I've got Kit's mic. And then, like, on the stream a few days ago, I had the guitar mics coming in here. Even though I was using outboard mic pre's, I was running them in here as a good way to A-B them on the same track, right? It's like easier to A-B, like I just on the board, right? Ba, 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 right? But there's other things I can do with it for like headphone mixes and all that. To answer your question, I'm absolutely thrilled that I have the console in front of me. And like I said, it's not even about mixing. It's just like when I'm doing sessions and I've got a lot of people in the room, it's just like a communication center, you know? I can just like, you know, if somebody's got a DAW over here, I got their DAW coming in the board and I can route it into Ableton or whatever. But if they need to work on it by themselves, they can put on some headphones, I can mute them and I can be working over here. It's just, yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it. Yes, Spy Guy. Kit keeps me in tune. Absolutely.
Yes, Crunk Monkey. Billy played guitar on Party Like a Rock Star. He also mixed it.
Yeah.
So,
and
actually,
I do have a video about that.
You do? I'll go find that.
It's called
it's
This
one
Song
of your
Changed
one-hit.
My Life.
That's it. This song
it's only the
changed my
first
life.
half. I keep saying I'm going to do the second half of the story, but we're literally
we're still in the middle of it.
There's actually things going on with that right now, behind the scenes involving some royalties, which may or may not be made public, but we'll see. But yeah, I played guitar on that and knew the producer. I'd known him for years, and he called me up and had me mix it and play guitar on it, and it changed my life. You know, it was a good little hit there. Okay, I guess it's I don't know if it's Gyoshia or Goshia. Hey, quick question: what's the best way to go about creating your own sound? I actually have some videos about this, but in a nutshell. Here's I'll just throw out a couple suggestions. I think it was it the 40 things I've learned from
No, that not 40 things you learned, things you've learned from 40 years in the business.
Yeah, but was that the stuff I'm talking about, how to like imitating and all that kind of stuff and
That's vague, baby.
Well, anyway, so here's the thing. Most people when they start getting into music, you start out by imitating the people that you like, right? And then you find yourself in this situation like you've learned how to make music and produce, but it just sounds like the people you like. Here's how I say twist it up. Imitate music you don't like. Imitate artists that you don't like. And when I say imitate it, go and listen to the sounds they're using, maybe the arrangements. Like just forget that you don't like them and just listen to what they're doing musically. Maybe they've got these hokey little things they do or whatever, and then copy that. But because you don't like their music, you're going to take the things that they've done and you're going to kind of twist it and form it into your own style, and then it'll become your own thing. The other suggestion is quit listening to the music that you love for a few months. I know that sounds wacky. only listen to music that you've never heard before, whether it's old or new. It doesn't really matter. Quit listening to the things you love for a few months and just try that. The other thing is challenges. It's kind of like this sample song contest that I'm doing right now, where I made these samples and you can download them and you can only use the samples. You can't use any other instruments. You can use vocals, but there's some hard restrictions on it. And sometimes limiting yourself by the amount of instruments you use and just saying, I'm only going to use one synthesizer for a whole song. Even if it's not the kind of synthesizer you need for certain sounds, force yourself to try to figure out how to make a sound with it. And sometimes that kind of stuff will force you to figure things out because it's easy to get good nowadays. It's pretty easy to go from zero to making pretty decent tracks with the software that's out there. But to do something unique and that's your own is a lot harder. The other thing I'd say, I don't know if you play any live instruments, but try to play a live instrument. Even if you're not that good, that'll open up some doors for you as well.
I think all of this is in your unique music techniques revealed.
Oh, yes. Yes, my unique music techniques. And the thumbnail for that, let me see if I can find it real quick. It's... Yeah, it's hold on. I'm going to put the thumbnail up there so you can see it. I've got a lot of little tips in there about, and there's a lot of things like in that video, I don't give a lot of detail about certain things. I'm giving general guidelines because if I just tell somebody how to do something, then they just end up copying me. I just want to give you like some basic direction and then you go and pry that can open, right? And I'm looking for this thumbnail because my thumbnails always have the wrong name on them. They're not actually. I'm starting to actually.
What are you looking for?
The thumbnail where I'm hitting the water jug.
I already posted the link.
Yeah, but I want to I want to show them the picture of the thumbnail.
Okay, well it's not too far down.
Well, I'm actually looking at. Look
at your most popular videos. Or no, look at them in order.
Oh no, it's
most
right here.
Recent.
It's right here. It's kind of blurry because it was kind of a crappy picture. So look for this thumbnail right here. If you see me hitting a water jug and looking rather confused, that video's got a lot of tips about some of the stuff. If you get towards the end of the video, you'll see where I'm kind of talking about some of these general philosophies about how to create your own sound. And that video, by the way, I did all the sampling in this video. I didn't use anything expensive. It was all 57s. I used 57s. I think I might have used an RE20, but it was mostly 57. I went straight into the Universal Audio Apollo, no modeling software, just straight in with a SM57. You can do amazing things. You don't necessarily need a bunch of equipment. You just got to be willing to try something. And you also got to be willing to waste your time. You got to be willing to waste your time. You got to be willing to do a bunch of stuff that you got like, But here's the thing. 10 years later, you're going to go, man, there's that stupid thing I did and it didn't work, but it's going to work now. So, and that's kind of coming back to the whole sample contest. I'm hoping that's what I'm going to getting some of y'all to do, to just dig in and do something that you never would have, because there's this limitation on it. You can only use the samples. You're going to be like, oh my God, how do I make it sound like rip it apart, shred it apart, run it through a guitar amp? I don't know. And that's another thing. And then they're your samples and they're your sound. And I get criticism from people like, well, you can just get sample packs. And I get it, but that's the easy way. There are no shortcuts in life. There are no shortcuts. There are no shortcuts. Zero shortcuts. It might seem like there's a shortcut because there's these plugins that make it sound professional, but guess what? You're going to sound like a million other people out there using the same damn plugins. Oh, you can go and tweak them a little bit, but if you really want to be completely unique and you want to do something artistic, there are no shortcuts. You're going to have to put the hard work in, which I actually enjoy because I'm kind of crazy like that. But take the risk of wasting your time. Take the risk of doing something stupid. Take the risk of sounding bad. If you're working on something and you think it's too distorted, there's too much distortion on it, put more distortion on it. Like, go the opposite direction. Oh, it's out of tune. I'm going to throw it more out of tune. I know it sounds crazy, but you'd be amazed by how many times if you do everything the wrong way, how sometimes it comes out to be the right way. So I know that sounds like a bit of a rant, but that's how I learned so much of the stuff I did. Let's see. Here's the can opener. Yeah, you know, Mark, I said can opener. I grabbed can opener and I thought, can opener. And I saw this video, somebody talking about antique can openers, right? How do people open cans nowadays?
Well, with a can opener.
I mean, they were talking about antique can openers. Like, are people using electronic can openers?
Yeah,
I don't open a can.
Hey,
so
Billy,
I don't know.
when we're backpacking, how do we open a can? If we brought a can, which we never do because they're
we
heavy.
have that little teeny thing.
That's an antique can opener. That's one version.
What was disturbing is like a couple of those can openers, they're saying antique. I'm like, but that's what I've always used. Like, I don't know what they're talking about. But anyway, can opener sound, I got to record that. So,
if you're buying MIDI packs and drum loops and synth presets, you're not learning anything. Oh, that was a question, but Travis is right. Stop living in Splice and put the effort in and learn.
Yes. Splice sounds amazing, but it sounds amazing like everybody else who uses Splice. And if trust me, if you get 5 guys together who use Splice to make their beats and you listen to all their music, they're going to all sound kind of like the same guy. I assure you, they're going to sound very similar. Okay.
Oblique Strategies. That's right. Erico.
Oh, who brought that up?
Erico.
Oh, hold on. I got something for you. Hold on. Somebody said, I'm constantly seeing that image in dreams and nightmares alike. What is he talking about?
I think that they commented while you were showing the thumbnail for the with you in the water jug. Oh man, Spy Guy, hammer can opener. Hold on, I have a story. I have one really lovely chef's knife. I like to cook. My dad gave it to me when Billy and I got married as a wedding gift. When one of my kids, who shall remain nameless, was young, they just had this brilliant idea that it would be fun to open a can with my chef's knife instead of with a can opener. And yeah, the tip is bent to this day. I was very unhappy with my child.
Okay, so who was it? It was Urko, Oblique Strategies by Brian Eno. So what that is there's a lot of ways to make music. You can get inspiration or you can copy it or whatever, but there are other ways to make music. You can do it almost like a scientific experiment where I've heard things where people like write notes or chords down in cards. You write them on a bunch of cards, you throw them in the air and you randomly grab them and there's your chord progression. There's this other thing that was devised by Brian Eno, and I forget the other guy who worked with him. He was a painter. They'd have these conversations about, what do you do like when you're creating something, whether it's a painting or a piece of music or whatever, and you get stuck? What are your strategies? How do you get out of like writer's block, or how do you trigger new ideas? And so they had all these conversations, and they came up with a list of techniques to spur new thoughts or get out of a writing blockage or whatever. And they put out a deck of cards called Oblique Strategies, and they sold them for a while, and then they stopped, and I think they're selling them again. Actually, it was Rick Beato that told me about this and turned me on to this, so I looked it up on the internet. I wrote it down off the internet, or Crystal did this, and she made this box, and she made a deck of cards, and we added some of our own, because there's a bunch in here. And so the idea is that you...
I think there's still one in there that says Pet Simon. We had a dog at the time named Simon.
We had a dog named Simon, so it was like, go Pet Simon, and the dog hung out in the studio. So, so let's say you're like struggling with something. So like you randomly pull something up. The first one I saw in here says, the inconsistency principle. Now, I don't know, maybe there's something online about that, but I can kind of guess what that would mean. There could be something to actually being inconsistent, for instance. Or let me just pull something else random out of here. Oh, here's another one. Not sure what to do? Be dirty. I mean, and this is like just to trigger things in your head. Oh, I like this one. This is a good one here. Boy, I need this one all the time. Listen to that quiet voice. And let's see. Oh, there's a bunch of good ones in here. Oh, this is interesting. So this says, only the part, not the whole. Now, what's interesting is normally when we're talking about production and mixing, we actually talk about the opposite of that. Like, oh, don't focus on one part too much. You got to listen to it all together, which is true. But man, sometimes you do need to just listen to the part and not the whole. So it's a way to kind of like turn things around. And like I said, not some of these are ones we made up and put in here. And I'm thinking about making my own version because I got a couple of other ideas. Like here's one. Trust in the you of now. Yeah. I need some of that weed.
Right.
What kind of drugs were they on? But the thing is, I actually... Oh, here's a good one. Here's a good one. Listen to the demo. That's a good one. I don't know if that was an original or not. I actually need to go and look and see which ones are original or not. Courage! I like that one.
Hey, Violent Dark Stalker over on Twitch. Welcome.
Oh, God. Some of these I don't... okay. What does this mean? From nothing to more than nothing. So, but the bottom line is there's a lot of different ways that you can stir, kind of create your own sound and, kind of get out of your hole. With me a lot of it's just taking short little breaks. But well, here's one thing. If I go take a shower, if I'm just frustrated and take a shower, I don't know what I get in the shower and suddenly I'm like, oh, I know what I got to do. I don't know, the fact that I can't just get on a mic and do it actually crazy. So I got to finish the shower as I grab my phone. Hopefully I don't drop it in the shower and I try to sing the idea in it. So every time that works for me, Let's see. There's your merch. Exactly, Gaz. I'm going to make my own version of that. Let's see. See you later, my synth dungeon. Thanks for dropping in. Appreciate it. Dana Crawl on vinyl. Yeah, somebody's talking about mixing and listening to Dana Crawl on vinyl. I bet that sounds really good. Or no, Diana Crawl.
Diana Crawl, yeah.
Yeah, Jonathan was really into her. It's freaking great. Oh, I see. Violent Dark Stalker. How's it going? Let's see. What else? Just looking on Brian Eno's site. Might buy the Oblique Strategies. Yeah, check it out. It's pretty cool. And he's no slack. He's a very creative person. Cards Against Musicality. I like that.
Spy Guy suggests, when in doubt, ask the wife. Well, but these are for, music ideas.
Yeah. Let's see.
Are KRKs good speakers to start with? And if not, what speaker do you recommend to buy?
I'm not a fan of KRKs. That's just me personally. I mean, I'm sure there's some good ones out there. I use, I'm using NS10Ms. That's what I've always used. And then I've got some Haflers. There's just, I don't think you can see it. It's,
you don't have a Traveler Cam today, do you?
Yeah, I don't really have that set up. It's, hold on. See, can we see it? Oh yeah. Yeah, these are my Haflers. They don't make them anymore. These are TRM 8s and they're powered and they got a big subwoofer with them. I like those. And then I have at the other studio, and I'm probably going to end up bringing them up here if I can find a place for them, some Event PS6s. They're nothing expensive, but I really like them. And the reason I like the combination of these two is like the Yamahas are very mid-rangey, not a bunch of low end, kind of honky sounding, whereas the Haflers are very kind of more like a hi-fi sound. And I kind of feel like, I've listened to a lot of records on these speakers, so it's kind of like I know what a record should sound like. Like it should sound a little mid-rangey, and the vocals should pop out more, right? But on the Haflers, it should sound a little boomy and a little tingly on the top end, and then the vocals should sound slightly quiet. And I go back and forth between them because they're kind of the opposites. The other thing is, I used to mix with a stereo. It's like one of these, like a stereo you'd buy it at Best Buy or something like that, where it's got like the fancy lights and all that. And usually there's like a center section and these two speakers you can separate. And there's one by Sharp. I actually bought 2 of these things, and I actually set it behind me. So I had this third set, and it was like, and I would set it like usually the flat setting because, people, they would have like bass and pop and boom and what all these settings on it, but I would kind of randomly go between them because this is what somebody in their home might listen to. People don't know what they're doing. They're just going to hit buttons and might even forget what it's on. So I had this stereo that sat behind me, and I would mix sometimes with them behind me. It's an interesting thing because your stereo spectrum switches because left becomes right, right becomes left because it's coming from behind you. But there's also something they're listening to something from behind. I know it sounds weird. I haven't done this in a long time, and it's not a really good setup in here. I'd heard about this from there was a famous mixer, and he would have like a little stereo system actually back in the corner, and he would pop over to that. And I would say that no matter what kind of speakers you buy, try to have like at least 2 sets of speakers that are very different in the way that they sound. Spend a lot of time listening to records on them, comparing them. Sit there just for a day and like listen to this, listen to that, listen to some rap, listen to some country, and just do it for a long time so you kind of get used to what they're doing, right? And then get some sort of stereo, like something that somebody would have in their house, and just put it off to the side or something like that. And it's going to take a while, but you do that enough, and eventually it becomes like a scientific experiment. Like you kind of know what to expect from the different sets of speakers. Like the events that I have at the other studio, the high end was a little exaggerated, but there's also this thing where it's got a little light on them, and when it starts to distort because you're pushing it too hard, they blink, right? I could figure out exactly how I could push the low end where they just start to blink, and there was my mix, like in relation to where the other speakers were in volume. And so I had 3 sets of speakers, and I had a whole system worked out, and it really worked great.
Yeah, Michael says, know your monitors. That's the most important thing.
Yes. I like the NS10Ms, though. These guys here, these Yamahas, I actually track bass guitar. If I'm sitting here working on a bass part, I'll use these, even though there's not much low end, because to me, like, it's easy to get fooled when you're doing a bass part into thinking you got really something good and you got it on big speakers, because you just hear a lot of low end, but it doesn't necessarily mean it has the presence. If I can get a part to sound good on my Yamahas, because when I'm playing, I actually don't normally compress my bass. I really just focus on my playing. But I try to get the performance based on the small speakers. If I can get it to sound good, I'm just digging in with a pick, or I'm hitting with my fingers the right way, and I can get it sound good on the NS10Ms, I'm fine on the big speakers. Maybe certain notes are going to boom a little bit, but I can just, duck out a certain frequency, because usually there's a couple notes that jump out more. Or, we got the Pro Q3 now, which is amazing, and I'll just do a dynamic EQ. Oh, the C. Every time I hit the C on the A string, or I hit a B flat on the E string, it booms a little more. I just find that frequency and just put a little dynamic EQ on it. It evens it out. But that's easier to do than if I'd focused on tracking with the big speakers and feeling like it's good, and then you get on small speakers and there's no presence. So I actually don't use the Haflers that much, unless there's a group in here and everybody's jamming and they kind of want to have a good time, I'll crank them up. So
Dopescope asks, can you explain the horizontal/vertical speaker orientation?
It's just how they're designed. Well, actually, they just look good that way. No, these Yamahas are designed to be sideways like that. I assume so, because the letters, that's the way the letters are. But yeah, I think they're just designed, and actually these are set up as far as the distance apart they are and all that. And they're like, I measured this. This is the same way I had it set up on my other studio, the Zone, for years. So actually, technically speaking, so your speakers are supposed to be like the distance between those 2 speakers should be the same distance as each speaker to each ear, that, left and right ear, right? The Yamahas are in the perfect position for that. The Haflers, because of the setup, I got them pushed back a little bit. They're not exactly right, but since I'm on the Yamahas most of the time, I kind of set it up more for those.
And it was pointed out that, of course, the quality of your monitors also has to do with your room. Yeah,
and this room is not great. I still need to do some work on it. It's a little dead. That's why I put some more wood in here. Low end in this room is not great. Normally when I got to finish mixing, I got to take it down to my other studio, which I can nail the low end in. I got to get some work done in here. this room is not amazing. It's a great vibe, but it's not amazing sonically speaking. But I kind of figured it out. I'm kind of frustrated with it because I don't want to have to like second guess myself all the time. At some point, I'm going to build a control room here. I'll just have to build onto the back of the house or something. But
currently, Billy has to finish his mixes at his studio, The Zone.
Yeah, I start him here and then I
so tuned in. All the biggest hits that he's done were done mixed at that studio.
I can take the mixes down there and finish them in 15 minutes. Okay, I kind of know. It's like, I get it close, and I get down there. Okay, and I'm done.
Peter First Name is wondering what a good audiophile speaker would be for triple size rooms for parties.
Audiophile and parties?
I was going to say, you don't do much for like just the audio. It's more what you think of as always about mixing, not really.
I don't know. And I'll be honest with you. Like I don't really have much time to go and research a bunch of gear. A lot of times people are asking me about gear and plugins, and I know there's guys out there that spend a lot of time like, oh, check out this plugin and check out this plugin, check out this plugin. I'm not like that. If I need a tool, I need a mic pre or a microphone or a plugin, I go and buy it and I use it, and then I don't look at anything else. I mean, I probably should. I'm just usually busy creating. So if I need speakers, I'll go out and I'll research a bunch of speakers and I'll know about them. So for like 6 months, I have some valid knowledge. I couldn't tell you now because I'm not really one of those guys. I have friends that are, and I just call them up. It's like, hey, man, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, it's just not my thing. I actually forget about it. Like once I buy the gear, I quit looking. I mean, the other reason to quit looking is once you buy a piece of gear, it's never a good idea to go back and look at what people are selling it a week later because they might have dropped the price. But I'm just, I guess I should research more. But to me, it's just kind of like once I got something that's working, I'm kind of good with it. I'll figure it out one how or another, Although I want to go look up this damn the Roar plugin. Somebody said there's a new Ableton plugin called Roar, and I just want to look it up because I like the idea of something being called Roar, and then it makes me think of Rourke, Howard Rourke from The Fountainhead. Even though Ayn Rand was full of shit in a lot of ways, Fountainhead was a damn good book.
I lost where to go. Oh, do you ever check your mixes on cell phones?
No, I should though. I should. Although I have clients.
Oh God.
Client calls me up and they're like, I can't hear any bass or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, I'm freaking out. And then I'm like, what are you listening to? And they're like, my cell phone. I'm like, oh my God. But no, on the cell phone, yeah, you're not going to hear everything, but it is a good way to kind of get an interpretation of that. But the funny thing for me is like almost everything sounds pretty good on a cell phone. But it's like there's something about that little speaker. It kind of makes everything sound kind of cool,
Nikki wonders, what vocal verb do you use?
It just depends. I've been using a lot of the Valhalla Massive, Supermassive, the free one. I like that, and usually all the reverbs are way too long. I got to shorten them. I also like I got this external, the Lisa's Wedge. The vintage verb Valhalla stuff's kind of cool. I've used it on a lot of records. It's not something I'm blown away with. I've got some of the Universal Audio plugins, and there's like one that's like, I don't know. I can't really remember. I don't really think about it that much. And then there's been a couple songs that when I'm tracking, I don't want to use too much processing. So like in Pro Tools, I'll just grab like the standard, Pro Tools basic reverb, which doesn't sound great. There's been a couple songs that I forgot that's what I was using, right? And everybody's like, the mix is amazing. And then I go back to finish the mix. I'm like, I'm using the cheap Pro Tools reverb. Should I switch it up? And I was like, sounds good. I just leave it on there. It's like, you can just get really wrapped around with that stuff. And then the other thing is you don't always need reverbs. I went for 10 years where I didn't put reverb on any vocals, 0 vocals. And I was doing a lot of major label stuff at the time. And I've actually got a video about that. Called, I didn't use reverb on vocals for 10 years. I only used delays. And I had a process where I would use a series of 3 stereo delays. I'd have a short one, a medium one, and a long one. And I'd make sure that the left and right was offset. And I would just barely blend them in. in the mix, it would sound like I had a little bit of reverb on the vocals, but it's way cleaner than reverb. Now, I'm into reverb again. I've been using a lot of reverb lately, but reverb does cloud up a mix. If there's some way I can get by without using reverb, I'll do that. Like if I'm doing a guitar part, and I'll try to use a delay first and see how far I can get with it before I start adding reverb, because reverb just muddies everything up. Or if I'm going to use a reverb, I'll use the same reverb for everybody that's using reverb. Now, I might have the same reverb on the vocals, but maybe it's just slightly shortened. So, yeah, it's on another auxiliary return, but it's the same reverb, just slightly shorter. And then once in a while, I want this big reverb hit. It'll be literally the same reverb and reverb setting. It's just a longer one. I just automate it on for certain hits, but that's another way. But got to be careful about adding too much reverb, because it's almost like a drug. It seems like it's a really, really cool idea and it's really good, but in the end, it's often just going to muddy up your mix. So I'm kind of careful with that.
Will a direct box improve my bass guitar sound when I record?
What, a what?
A direct box.
Depends on what you've got, like, as opposed to just plugging in your interface. I mean, probably a good direct box would help. I mean, I like these, I've been using these, Radial JDIs. They're pretty good. I've got a Summit tube direct box here. Let me put the camera at it. I like this one a lot. It's got a different tone. Let's see if I can get it down here. Oh, what left? Yeah. Can y'all see that is a tube direct box? And then this, let me bring my mic around here. Okay, so there's this thing here. Let me see if, hold on. I got this thing on a stand. This is a Universal Audio 710 Twinfinity mic pre right here with the yellow light. It's not super expensive. I have found that thing actually is pretty cool on bass guitar. And I do use a direct box going into that. So just saying a direct box, the direct box alone, unless it's like the tube one, yeah. And that Twinfinity's got a tube in it too. Although I normally, actually my main thing I run my bass through is, I love recording my bass through a Avalon VT737 mic pre. And it's got actually a an instrument jack on the front. I've experimented with using the DI instead. I feel like the DI is slightly better, but still sounds pretty good. If I'm in a rush and I'm in a session, I just plug in the front. It's more about the vibe. But I feel like the mic pre thing, or a direct box, yeah, a direct box can help, but I think it also is going to tie into what is that going into. I mean, maybe somebody else, there's a lot more educated people on here than me. Reverb is like cowbells. So if I'd be interested in anybody has to say about that, because that's just my experience. The direct box is cool, but it depends on what it's going into. Soul
Pilot Music says the Avalon 737 for bass is a win.
I love it. I slam that meter.
And then let's see.
Oh yes, Tyreman, the Chandler Germanium. This is one of those things. I bought the Chandler, and hold on. Let me see if I can get this camera down lower. Hold on. I need a flashlight.
Do you have one?
Yeah, I found one.
Good.
Okay. That is, let me turn it on. So right here, the blue thing, that is a, let me get my mic up here. That is a Chandler Germanium. Whoa, oh my God, the camera. Yeah, I don't have help today. So and by the way, you can see my lunch. So that's my lunch. Ignore my lunch. Don't look at that. I'm not done eating. Anyway, this is a Chandler Germanium, and I believe, I think I'm correct on this. It's called a Germanium because of some metal in it. They use the germanium element in it. I believe this is modeled after the Abbey Roads mic pre's. It's a very old school mic pre. I bought it because of mainly Matt Malpass, a friend of mine who's done a lot of indie records and rock records. He loved it. So I bought it, and I hated the damn thing, right? But I've been using it again lately because it's kind of cool for bass. It's also got this button on here called Thick. And I just saw a button named Thick, and I just put it in, and I was like, I like that. And then I read in the manual, and they said, just turn it on. So I did. I just leave it on. It makes it sound thicker. But what's cool is it's got this gain and this thing called feedback. And if am I correct, the feedback like runs some of the output back to the input and overdrives it. But it's a very, very warm mic pre. I like it on a lot of bass guitar. I've liked it also on female vocals. It helped warm up some vocalists. One of the great... a great combination for the germanium was using it with a Neumann, I think it was a Neumann M149 tube mic. It's a very expensive, crispy sounding mic. That was a great combination. I used that a couple times. But I wish I had the EQ that went with that thing. How does your lunch sound through the channel? Amazing. Amazing.
You want to hear him chew it? No.
No, I had one stream where I kept chewing some. I was eating
M&Ms.
I was eating M&Ms. And
I think was it Christmas? I think because they came out of your stocking.
Chewing.
Let's see. What are the best BPMs for rap and R&B hits?
I mean, that changes with the times. Like when I started doing rap, it was like. So what was like? It was slow. It was like 78 BPM and 92. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, just go listen to some stuff and count it out. I have a reputation for having done a lot of rap records, but it's been a long time. I don't really do rap anymore. I mean, like straight, people will rap on songs, but I'm not really doing that anymore. I mean, to be honest with you, I got into rap music because I got talked into it, and it's actually in this video here. Hold on, let me show this. Okay, so I made this video, and this video here is called, the hell's it called? 4 Random People I Met That Changed My Life. And you see, like, my buddy Jeff and Chris Vermillion, Rick Beato, and, oh my God, Michael Allenby. And this guy here, number 2, that's Chris Vermillion. He's an air conditioner repairman who talked to me into doing rap music. It's kind of hard to explain the whole story. You would need to watch the video, but Kit will put a link up to it.
Oh, yeah.
And I got into rap music because I just liked everybody. It was the first time in my life I ever felt at home. I felt accepted. Nobody gave me a hard time about my long hair. They liked it that I was different. I did this little project. Didn't really go anywhere, but I remember I just thought Bone Crusher was like one of the coolest. I mean, they were all cool, but I like Bone, and I took Bone out to a Taco Bell and bought him some burritos and said, hey, let's work on some songs. And it just led, and then Little John, because he'd been on that record, he started booking me. I didn't do rap music because I love rap. I did it because I loved the people. And it was also a chance for me to do some things nobody else would let me do. Like at the time, it was in the 90s, all the rock bands I just thought were a bunch of pussies. I just thought they were lame. Like they wouldn't want to distort things. They were worried about too much low end. I'm working on the rap music. And they're like, yeah, do whatever you want. Like, turn it up. And there was like all this freedom. And I had a lot of hits with a lot of those guys, and it was a great ride. And I'm still friends with most of them. I mean, I was texting with Cauley Park several times last week, and he did all the Yin Yang Twin stuff, and I could call Bone right now and talk to him about anything. But at a certain point, they weren't really making records so much anymore. They went on to other things, and they all have other businesses and all that. And then I had these other rap clients, and it was cool, but they weren't my friends, and I just wasn't interested, so I got out of it. And I know that sounds like a weird thing to say. I mean, I know I got to make money and all that, but if I don't love it, I'm not going to do it. And I loved what I did with them because, on a technical side and creative side, I learned a lot and all that, but it was also about the relationships. And then once those relationships, like we weren't making records anymore, I kind of lost interest, so I moved to other things. And it's just kind of like, I almost envy guys that are mixers and they just mix every day. if I'm just mixing every day, like I went through one period where I mixed pretty much exclusively for 3 years, and I was about to blow my brains out at the end of it. I couldn't just, at some point, it's like, I need to write something. I need to play guitar. I need to do something, some music that's not popular. Like, it was just all like, oh, we're getting on the radio. And I was getting to the point, like, I could put earplugs in and mix hit records. It was just like, it was all the same crap, man. But if I'm get bored, I'm over it. So the long story is I have no idea what's going on with rap right now. There's a lot of great stuff. I love Kendrick Lamar. Who's that chick? The one that did the tiny.
Oh, that was so good.
Doechii.
I think is it Doechii? I think that's
Doechii.
right.
Oh my God, so inspiring. I love her stuff, and I just love her. I love what she. Yes, Doechii. Oh my God. But I didn't think about what the tempos were, I like it, But if you want to find out, I just say go on there and find, click it in and get it, just.
Let's see here.
Doechii's amazing. Just so inspiring. And it's encouraged me to put out some of my music because I've got songs I'm really freaked out about putting out my songs because I've got a really weird voice and I'm a weird singer. And I'm old, so I'm like, I just need to go ahead and start putting them out. But I watched a couple of videos. I'm like, all right, I need to start putting out my songs. So,
So here's a question. What is your favorite track in terms of music production?
You mean my favorite song? I mean, I'd say all of Dark Side of the Moon. I mean, there's no favorite anything. Oh, hold on, Yeti. I'll get back to you in a second. I think it depends on a couple things. Dark Side of the Moon will always be the best. I mean, God, when I was hanging the sound panels upstairs, Kit, and because I redid the living room and painted it, and to do live drums up there, and so there was one night we're up there and drinking some wine, and I'm hanging these sound panels. Mm-hmm. And I think we listened to Dark Side of the Moon like 3 times.
No, we listened twice, and then we also listened to Wish You Were Here.
Yeah, okay, yeah. And I would also say, what's another one? Oh, I like Katie Lang's, usually it's albums. Katie Lang's, what's the name of that? Is it Ingenue with Mike?
Ingenue, yeah.
Mike Klink, is it Mike Klink? Klink or Mike Fink was the producer. He's the guy who's playing on it. Katie Lang, it's kind of country music, but it's kind of country with these orchestras. I mean, some of it sounds like Lawrence Welk or something like that because they got accordions, but that album is just goddamn amazing. It's like one of the most amazing things. Her vocal
kind
arrangements.
Kind of spotless.
And the way they'll come up, there'll be this part, and you'll hear this guitar go, boom, 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 and then you hear it one other times in the whole song, and you kind of want to hear it more, but they have the discipline and the knowledge to know it only needs to play boom, 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 boom here, and a minute later, never anywhere else in the song. And I'll tell you what, this would be a situation like if you want to learn about production, even if you don't like that kind of music, go listen to that album. It's just. The arrangements are freaking, and her voice, like the dynamics on her voice, like sometimes I overcompress and I'm trying to get the vocal out there, but there are parts where she's singing la la la, and it gets really quiet. Oh yeah, and Earth, Wind and Fire. See, I like you're asking me my favorite. Anything Earth, Wind and Fire. Come on, what's that song where it starts out? And they got 2 guitars pan left and right and a bass up the middle. Nobody's playing exactly together. You can hear those guitars flamming, but it's just got this freaking vibe on it. That's oh my God, I can't remember the name of the song. It's just guitars and bass. September, is that September? Is that September?
That's the ones, do you remember?
Because the intro sounds different than the rest of the song.
I'm not sure if that's the one you're talking about.
But anything Earth, Wind, and Fire, production-wise, Jesus, oh my God. Then, of course, the Proclaimers. So the Proclaimers had this song, which I actually kind of hate. I would walk 500 miles and I would... but the rest of the album, and it's actually sonically
It's interesting, yeah, because it's not like sonically a thing.
great sounding, but there's some great things in it. I listen to it and I cry. You know, Shining Star. That's it. Shining Star. Dennis,
Thanks,
you're
Dennis.
right. That's the song. And when that thing starts, I'm just like, yeah. And of course, you know, Tom Sawyer. What can I say? Rush. You know, I almost hate to say it, but it's true. But god dang, some of the Kanye West stuff, I think he's a nutcase. But God, it's just like some of his songs, like Gold Digger, and it's absolutely perfect, just perfect. You know, he's got some stuff. I was like, it's funny. The only time in my life I ever called somebody and said, "Who is that song by?" It was Kanye West for rap music. Oh no, that's not true. Kendrick Lamar. Yeah, there's been some stuff, but I'd be like, "Oh God, Kanye again, God." But it is good, you know? But I don't have a one favorite track, and it kind of depends on, oh, you're saying, I don't even know if is it Dua Lipa? I don't really know much about her. Is that a her? I don't even know. It's one of these things, like there's so much music out there, and I don't even have time to check it out, but I'll check that out.
So let's see here. Do you ever sidechain gate reverb so that it just comes on at the end of vocal phrases?
Is that legal? Are we allowed to do that? I mean, I don't even know how that would work. Now, I'd heard about this thing where, it was like, forget the producer. He's recording David Bowie, and he would have a mic right in front of him, and then he was in a big room, and then he had another mic further away that picked up a lot of room sound, but there was a gate on it, so when he sang louder notes, it would open that mic up. I thought that was cool. I actually tried that with somebody. It was kind of cool. But I'm kind of wondering, like, so you're saying a gated reverb on the end of a vocal line, but what triggers the reverb to only come in on the end? I mean, that's an interesting idea, though.
So here's another question.
Tony Visconti. Yes, You're right.
What is the most reliable compressor for bass?
Well, hold on. Hold that thought.
Sorry. Okay.
I do want to say
Mott the Hoople?
Dopescope. Mott the Hoople is a band. People are sidechained obsessed. You are absolutely right. The funny thing is I don't really sidechain that much, not the way people normally think. One of my favorite things to do is sidechaining those. If I'm doing like a rock track, I'll put a sidechain on the electric guitars and trigger it off the kick and snare, just barely. It's this weird thing where it actually makes the guitars sound louder. And if you solo the guitars up, you don't actually hear it. It's weird because I'm only doing like a few dB of compression on it and maybe 4-to-1. But if I put it in the mix in AB with that sidechain compression off, it's like, whoa, the guitars got quieter. It's like they're actually not getting quieter. There's something about the sidechain. And I've even matched it so when the compressor's on, it's the same volume with them off. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just amazing. That's one of my favorite things to do with sidechaining. Okay, what was the question about bass? Sidechain, the sidechain, yes.
The most reliable compressor, do you think? For bass.
I use, hold on. Let's see, I think I've got it here. On bass, reliable? I don't know about reliable, but I like this. Let me see, what is it called again? It's the, I actually use the Pro Tools version, but I don't have Pro Tools open, so I'll pull it up. It's called the, hold on, I gotta find it. I can never remember what anything's called. Oh, it's with, here it is. Here, okay. Boom. Okay, so this is the Universal Audio version, the 660. There's a built-in version, just like I think it's the Bomb Factory version of Pro Tools, which I think is fantastic on bass, right? I normally set the time constant, which is the release. I set it on 1, and I just set the threshold so it hits the bass like maybe 2 dB of compression. There's something about the Pro Tools version where when you turn on the plugin, I feel like the output is goosed a little high, so it's kind of slightly overdriving it. Love it. And I will use that on electric bass, stand-up acoustic bass, whatever. I use that a lot. Now, if I'm looking for something more extreme, instead of compression, I'll use distortion. distortion is your friend on bass. That's all I'm going to say. And I would tend to use, where is it? It's, what's it called again? Hold on. I might not have it in here. Ooh, maybe I don't. The SansAmp plugin by FX Audio. I got it in Pro Tools. The distortion would take care of a lot of the compression for you. So sometimes I kind of I'll put the Fairchild 660 at the beginning just to kind of knock it down a little bit, and then I'll distort it, and boom, I'm done.
Kind of a related question in a way. How do you make your kicks and 808s hit harder?
So on my kicks, I'm normally boosting like somewhere between 110 and 120 hertz, somewhat narrow bandwidth, and I don't even boost. I usually don't boost the low end on my kicks at all. And I run them through my Yamahas, these white ones, and I crank it up so I kind of feel it in my chest, right? And I sweep it around, and usually it's somewhere between 110 and 120 hertz, usually around 112, 115. On my 808s, I usually pull frequencies. Like, I think the main mistake people make with 808s is they boost frequencies. I will listen to the 808 on my big speakers, and the first thing I do is I look for which note, if it's a tuned 808, certain notes are going to stick out more. I find out what notes those are, and I'll either just take the EQ and, I've got a frequency chart, and I've got one on my website. Let's say he's like he hits an F sharp, the 808 hits an F sharp. I'll just look on my chart and figure out what that frequency is, and I'll just notch that frequency down so whenever he hits there, it's a little quieter, right? Or I use the Pro Q3. I rarely, I'm trying to think the last time I boosted low end on an 808. I can't even remember. I hardly ever do. If you pull, and on almost all 808s, I either pull 51 hertz or 52 hertz, like 1 or 2 dBs. That's always this rattle area on speakers, right? But if you pull the frequencies that are rattling the speakers too much, it allows you to turn your 808 up. You can crank it up really loud. Also, once again, a little distortion on 808 is a great thing. And I make sure that the kick drum doesn't have, if the kick drum has a lot of low end, it might be interfering with the 808. And then the other thing is, it's very time consuming. I'll go through the track and just zoom in and listen, and I'm watching. Use your ears, but also look at the waveform. Sometimes when people are doing kicks and 808s, the 808 is moved a little bit, so the waveforms get out of phase and it cuts out low end. So I'll be like, oh, and sometimes it's like a real pain in the ass because they didn't really program it that well. I'll go through and I'll just sit there like this, and there's one, boom, and I'll just nudge the 808. Usually it sounds better if the 808's a little behind, but I'll find ones that sound good. I like what sounds good. As soon as I find one that sounds good, I love the way that sounds. I just look at the waveform, like, okay, that combination on that note works good between the kick and the 808. And I go through the whole song, and I'll just, if something sounds weird, I nudge the 808 so it sounds in beat.
So, hey, Billy, can you recommend a good 12 to 16 analog mixer? Are more auxiliary or buses recommended? Just switching from in the box to more analog, and they're researching what would be good.
Man, it might be a little pricey, and this was the mixer I was looking at. SSL, well, hold on, let me look up this thing real quick. I don't want to say the wrong one. SSL makes a little small mixer, and I think it might be a controller too. What the hell is it called? It's SSL. It's like 6. There's the Big 6 and the Logic 6. Hold on. Okay, I think this might be it, and I think it's got more punch. There's more power in it.
Mark says SSL 9000J.
No, no, I think he's talking about something that they could afford. No, oh yeah, check it out. So this is like, here at Sweetwater, it's like, $1,300, and it's very compact. It's got, let's see, I see there's like those are the outputs. Oh, it's got a D-sub on it. I think this thing's got more power than you would realize. It's like, You know, it's got like the EQs. I think it has. Does it have the compressor on this one? I can't remember. But I remember researching these, and I was kind of looking at it, and there's a bigger version of this, and I don't know. I don't think this is the one. Yeah, it's got 2 mic pre's on it, which is kind of cool. Oh, and it does have the compressor, so you'd get like a little mixer. But there's a bigger one. I think it's the where is it? Oh, I just saw it. Oh yeah, it's a little bit more money. But hold on. Oh, get out of here. I'm not recommending this company. I'm just showing you the picture. Okay. Yeah, so this is like a big version of that. And I've not tried one, but just kind of looking at the features, like, man, that's kind of cool for a small studio. I mean, look at the back. Looks like it just looks like there's a lot of functionality on it.
It's the Big 6.
The Big 6. You know, it's a little pricey. That's like 2,000. Oh, that's a refurbished one. Oh, yeah. What would a new one cost, though? I think the new one. Hold on. Big 6, 18 input. Okay, so it is a little bit money here on Sweetwater. So it's like $2,700. But you got to think about this. It's like, how many mic pre's does it have on it? And they're probably pretty good, you know?
Casey also recommends the Allen and Heath SQ6.
Let me look that up. I love Allen and Heath. Allen and Heath, what was it again?
SQ6.
I love Allen and Heath. Well, come on. Let me just get the images. I just want to look at the pictures. How much is that, though? Where is it? Wait, which one is it? SQ6. Hold on. Why can't... It's just coming... oh, that's firm. I don't want a firmware. No. Hold on. They have such sexy pictures. Well, this is a digital mixer, isn't it? Is he asking analog mixer?
I think the question is analog mixer.
Yeah, is this stereo or digital?
Casey, is that stereo or digital?
I think that might be digital. That guy, look at the mustache on this dude. Oh my God. I'd buy the board just because of his mustache. But if you want an analog board, you got to go without the mustache. But hey, you know what, man? Thing about mixers is like, they're pretty cheap now.
It's a digital mixer.
Okay, so Budo Chris is saying the Big 6 is an analog mixer and audio interface.
Interesting.
It doesn't have a clock. Oh, it doesn't have like a master word. Hold on. But does it not have a like a word clock connector on the back? That would be typical of SSL to nail everything and forget one damn thing. What is that? I see a little port. But I mean, for most people that may not matter though. Like I am recording bands, so I need a lot more. But that is an interesting thing though. Hold on. Yeah, I'm looking at the back here. I don't see like a word clock connector or anything. So, you know, you wouldn't be able to hook up an external device with it, but maybe this would be enough for you. But hey, it's SSL. It's got some more mic pre's on it. And I think that these faders can double for other things. I thought this was a controller too, but I guess it's just the interface. But hey, I mean, for the money, oh my God. I mean, come on, man. I mean, yeah, that's like $2,700. But my God, I spent $12,000 on my 16-track 1-inch machine, which is, I think I can get it on this camera. Yeah. Can they see it back there? I don't know if y'all can see it. Yeah. It's back over there. Well, I can't get the camera over there. But I spent $12,000 on a 1-inch 16-track. That was just for the 16-track and the remote control. No cables. Oh, and I got the hubs with the little spring, like the fancier one. Got all that for $12,000. I still had to buy cables and all that. I still had to buy a mixer. I still had to buy mics and all that stuff. Come on. So you're thinking about $3,700 for what these things pack in there. and it'll probably last a while. So I got a buddy who has one, and he loves it. And he used to work for me, and he worked for Tree Sound. He's actually Ludacris's head engineer for years, and he's got one of these in his home studio, and he swears by it. And I have Josh Monroy. Oh God, what was his nickname again? It was Igloo. Igloo suggested that.
So I do have some more stuff to get to. Here's a cool change of pace.
Okay.
How do you deal with a perfectionist in the studio? Because a lot of production is just as much psychiatry, and well, not psychiatry, but psychology, as it is music.
Okay. Well, luckily, I don't think any of my clients are watching my live stream. So let me just say, I do a lot of bullshitting. It's kind of like, look, my job as a producer is to get the best. I need to give the client, I'm trying to help them achieve their dreams and get their vision. I'm also trying to give them something they can go out in there and do something with. There's a certain amount of me like trying to figure out like, what do they want, but what's the best thing? Because sometimes the thing they want is not the best thing. Like, the song's going to be 12 minutes long. Well, you ain't going to get any airplay. I'm exaggerating. There is something with perfectionists where sometimes going down the rabbit hole with them can be good. And I'm just in a position, I've been doing this for so long, I can usually tell. But a lot of times I just have to bullshit people. And somebody who's a perfectionist, you're not going to do well going head to head with them in an argument, right? I usually will indulge them a little bit, but then I'll say, well, let's come back to this, and I'll write a note down. And you got to keep that promise. You can't say it and not come back, because then it'll never work again. And you got to trust them. Like there is something to being a perfectionist. There is a lot that can come from it, but there's also a lot of bad things can come from it too. I usually, with perfectionists, what I was going to say, besides as a producer, my job is not only to, help them achieve their dream and give them something that's marketable and something that's going to last, but the process is very manipulative. And I mean manipulative in the best way possible. I need to kind of mess with people to get them to do things sometimes. Sometimes it's by distracting them. I try to indulge them, but the best thing with a perfectionist is not let them go down that way for too long, and I say, let's just come back to that in a little while. Just think about it. Let's think about that, and we could try this and this and this and this, and then we'll go to something else. You got to come back to it. But when you come back to it, I've often found that many times they've kind of gotten over it, or they've thought it over, and they're like, oh yeah, that's one of the best things you can do, is just kind of like get off of it. There have been a couple times I just had to pull my Billy Hume bullshit stuff like, no, we're not doing that. We don't have time for this crap, Your budget only accounts for so many. We're not going to waste our time going over these background vocals over and over again when we got to get this done. I'll be a dick about it. Depends on the person. I can be Fred. Fred is my alter ego. Sometimes Fred comes out. And it's just kind of like down to reading the person. But you just can't go down the rabbit hole with them, because you're going to end up wasting a lot of damn time. Now, Soul Pilot over there on Twitch, I say, remind them you're on the clock. I rarely charge people by the hour, and some people go to the hour by the day because I figure it out. I usually charge a price because I don't really want anybody thinking about the clock, but then I have to be able to make sure that we get the job done. Now, in most cases, I'm willing to work longer than my clients because I'm a nutcase. But I will tell people, like, look, I'm charging you a set rate, and I promise you I'd get it done. But the reality of it is I can't spend forever obsessing over the pedal steel part and whether one note in this chord is out of tune. Sounds good to me. You know what? It's fine. And if they keep pushing me, I'm like, if you don't trust me, and if somebody's really pushy, I'll say something like, look, if you don't trust me, then you need to fire me. You are hiring me for my opinion. As a producer, they if you're a good producer, they're not hiring you because you can make a beat and push buttons. You're being hired for your opinion. And if people keep questioning your opinion, then you tell them you need to fire me because you don't trust my opinion. You should trust my opinion because I've been doing this a long damn time. So either take my opinion or fire me, and I'll keep whatever money I think I've earned. I'll refund the rest of your money or whatever, because I'm not going to waste my time with it. I've only have to get, as I've gotten older, I get there less and less and less because I've got a reputation, and then I'm the older guy with the white hair and people are scared to say anything to me. But that is the fact of the matter. But either way, whether you got to pull like the tough guy thing or whether, and then sometimes it's just sweet talking people and kind of play with them like, you're just obsessing. It's fine. You've done it 3 times the same way and they're all exactly the same, whatever. We'll go to something else. But you cannot waste. You're going to do nobody good by going down that rabbit hole unless sometimes, once in a while, there's actually something to it. And I don't want to mention a dear friend of mine, but oh my God. Yeah.
So what's that mic you're using?
Oh, I'm using an RE20. This is a Electro Voice RE20, which is like a radio. Most people use the SM7, but my voice is so damn mid-rangey. My voice is like that. This thing's about the only damn thing that'll cut that stuff down and not cut the tops of people's heads off. Somebody said, oh my God, what did they say? Because Soul Pilot, you said, remind them you're on the clock. Oh, this is maybe an hour ago. God, I've been on here a while now.
Couple hours, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I know. I got other things I got to do. Thanks for reminding me. Somebody said something earlier. We're talking about mixing and plugins and all that. And there was a comment. And I meant to swing back to this. And the person said, nobody's going to hear it the way you do. And that's true, but they feel it, right? I've had people in the studio and you're obsessing over a small thing and people say, oh, nobody will notice that. I'm like, oh, they will. They absolutely will. Now, they might not go, oh, that bass part was a little off or the bass tone sucks or like this is like not a good thing. Most people don't hear that, but they can feel it, right? And our job, and it's a balance as a producer and a mixer and an engineer, like especially with me, like I listen so deeply into things. I over the years, I've learned how to like listen non-judgmentally. Like I just turn that off, smoke some weed, drink a beer. And, although once in a while I'm like, whoa, did you hear that snare sound? But you got to remember, keep reminding yourself. Yeah. Like I never worry about whether everybody can hear. At the bottom line is I don't give a shit whether anybody will hear it or not. I hear it. And if I don't like it, it ain't happening. And if you don't like it, fire me or get the hell out of here. I mean, I'm pretty confident about my opinions. But saying that somebody's not going to hear something or nobody will notice is a very bad road to go down. And that's why there's a lot of lame records made. Because even though somebody might not hear it technically, they will feel it. So you got to balance between getting things to sound right without destroying the emotion, but also realize that sometimes the emotion doesn't sound perfect, right? But then sometimes something just sucks. And I've had people say, well, it's got emotion in it. It's like, no, that's not emotion. That's just a sucky freaking part. It's got to be redone. Nobody's going to know like, oh, the snare drum is out of tune, or I don't know. There's a million things you could say, like whatever. But they will feel it.
Kind of along those lines, Gaz asked, has anybody ever fired you? You've kicked some people out.
Well, I did get fired from that Atlantic project for
you tried to do that,
floaty,
though.
But I wanted to get fired because I got to make a video about that. Yeah. There was too much weird stuff going on with that. So I just started being a jerk and I got fired. And I look back on it now, I was making a lot of money for Premix back then. But usually, no, I got fired from that. And then I got fired from a guitar playing job when I was 19. But no, normally I'm the one that fires. I fire clients. I get rid of clients. It's not worth my time. I love what I do. I got to make a living, but if I don't like it, they're gone. But yeah, I only got fired the one time, but I was trying to get fired.
How do you hook up your guitar tuner pedal and into what channels?
Oh, so my guitar tuner Good question.
What do you?
Okay. So, and this actually ties some. I want to make a whole video about this, right? Here, let me get to a screen that's a little dark, like so. Okay. Okay. Well, let me start out by saying this. I'm going to answer the question. Another thing I think is really important when you got a home studio is making sure you're being efficient. I spend a lot of time in here making sure, like, actually, I got my headphones sitting here, but normally my headphones sit on a little hook under here. And if it's time to get some headphones, they're here. They're right here. They're here. The plug is like right here, right under the board, right? I try to make everything as turnkey, meaning I don't have to hook things up. I've got a vocal mic ready and all that. For a lot of reasons. One is when I'm inspired, I don't want to be interrupted. But second off, it's so hard nowadays because we're our own engineer, our own producer, and me, I'm really slow. I spend a long time on things. So the way I've moved forward is by making sure I'm as efficient as possible. Everything works. I don't want to stop to do anything. And one of the things I've done, and it's a great question, my guitar tuner sits right here. And I've got it hooked up. You can see it right there. I'm using so what I've got is I've got my and I used to have this kind of set up through my board. Actually, the way I used to do it was I had my Pro Tools was always coming back into the board, and then I just had a send, like an auxiliary send here, that just went out right to the tuner. So if like the song stopped and somebody's in record ready, it's coming through Pro Tools, so it's coming to the board, and then I got one of these auxes just like on the patch plate, and it just goes to the tuner, right? Well, what I started doing was, and I'm just going to leave it this way because this is the way I have it set up from being in the box. I've got here, and actually I kind of screwed up on this because I changed all this. So on my Apollo quad interface, it comes with the software called Console. That's this right here, and it's got this little thing called Q outputs. I've got the first two, Q1 and 2. It doesn't actually use these Q things here. What it's doing is just mirroring the mix to line 3 and 4 and line 5 and 6. So 3 and 4 is going to the live stream, and 5 and 6 I can send out to some headphones. Q3 goes to line 7 and 8. So let's say I've got a guitar coming in analog 4 or analog 7. If you look here at the Qs, you'll notice that number 3 is turned up on all of them, right? So if I've got an instrument coming into there, it's going to go, before it even goes into my DAW, it's sending out. Before it goes anywhere else, it's just sending another signal out, and my tuner right here is plugged into output 7 on the back of my interface, right? So they can tune even when something else is going on. That's why I like this setup, because before, when I had it on the board, they couldn't tune while I was playing something back. So the way it's set up, or like I'm listening back and I want to tune, and while I'm listening, I can just be sitting here tuning. So I've literally got, well, it's not on every channel. For some reason, 4 is down, but it should probably be up. So it's set up now so that any sound that's coming in on my 16 inputs, because I've got 8 on my Universal Audio Quad and my Rosetta 8-channel interface, my Apogee Rosetta, they come into the computer, they're coming here. Before they even go to the DAW, they're going to this Q output. The Q output is sent to the output 7 on my interface, and it goes to the tuner. Boom! And then I can tune anything at any time. That's how I do it.
Let's see. What do you normally leave as is in the mic? Like something you often leave the way it's delivered to you.
Wait, say again?
Like, what do you leave as is from the mic that you've set up? What do you often kind of just keep the way it is?
Do you mean on what? Like recording what?
That was from Juan Carlos. So Juan Carlos, if you're there, kind of clarify your question for us.
Where is this? Is this Twitch?
Oh, it's way up. I've been copying questions.
Is it on YouTube?
Yes, it's on YouTube.
There's so many things people are bringing up in questions.
And there's a lot of times, hey guys, there's so many times you guys will have cool crosstalk and comments or say things you're doing, which would be a lot of fun to talk about. But I am not always the best to discern like which would be the things to pick out. So I usually am trying to just stick to questions because even that's hard to keep up with.
Yeah.
But thank you guys for
now they're talking
chatting
about
with
the whole
each other.
Billie Jean thing with the mix, and I wanted to talk about that, and like, oh my God, there's so many things, but I got to go eat, and I actually got to work on a song.
Mark Hendrickson.
Oh, hold on, I want to get back to Juan Carlos. So in the mix, he's saying, what was the question again?
It says, what do you normally leave as it is in a mic? Is the something you often leave the way it's delivered to you?
Oh, do you mean like something that somebody sends to me for a mix or something I recorded?
Oh, he clarified it a bit later. Thank you, Niles. In the mix, as is in a mix.
What do I leave?
I don't know.
I'm not.
The lunch is to the left. Yes, it's cold now, Mark.
I'm gonna eat a chip. Juan, can you ask I'm not sure what you're saying. Are you saying like if I get files from somebody else to mix, what do I leave in their voice? Are you saying something that I recorded? Because like when I record, I'm usually doing a little bit of EQ and I compress going in. I know what I want and I like making commitments. But I'm not sure what you're asking.
I think he means just not change.
But when I mean, not.
Oh, he says yes. Yes, what, Juan?
I mean,
in files sent to you, if you get files.
I mean, if they sound good, I'm usually doing a little extra compression because there's like some tricks, like the 1176 all-in button. If it's kind of pop, to make it pop.
As in, what kind of tracks do you not generally process or EQ a bunch when you receive a mix?
I mean,
it just depends.
It depends. I was doing this album for a guy named Jimmy Harris. It was kind of a songwriter, acoustic, bluegrassy thing, but he actually had a guy do drums, right? It was, oh my God. I swear his name just went out of my head. He lives halfway to Athens. It's, oh my God.
I can't help.
Yeah, he was at the damn CD release party. We're talking, why can't I remember his name?
I don't know.
He recorded the drums. He's an engineer and producer too, and they came in sounding so good. I didn't touch anything. And he had like this distorted, oh my God, it was, oh my God, why can't I remember his name? I'm terrible with names. But I got to be honest with you, most vocals that come to me, I don't think sound that great. I almost always do additional compression because I need to make it pop out in the mix. I can't think of a single vocal that ever came in that I just left alone. I mean, usually, I think that people either are usually recording vocals very crappily or very safely, which is the better way to do it. Be safe with it because the vocals are going to need some work, right? I guess this is the reason why. I mean, if you're at a lower stage, you're probably getting crap sounding vocals. So you're going to have to do some work on them. But when you get up to a higher level, you're going to get vocals that aren't necessarily exciting, but they're safe. So I have to do additional compression and stuff to them. Usually, like if the dynamics are too much, I'll stick a bit of a limiter on the front end just to knock them down. But to get vocals to pop, and whether anything is kind of popular music, loud, rock, pop, whatever, got to make those vocals jump out. So they're going to go through 2 or 3 levels of different types of compression. But it's going to get some EQ. I mean, I can't think. Oh, are you asking, are they processed or unprocessed? I mean, I prefer unprocessed unless they come from a really great engineer who knew what the hell he was doing. But yeah, I spend a lot of time on vocals and I got some techniques. I even usually throw a little distortion on a lot of vocals, not all the time because it can actually make it, or saturation actually will make it stop in the mix. But I can't. To be honest with you, I pretty much always do something to vocals. There's not like, and to say what do I leave untouched, I mean, sometimes I don't touch the EQ that much. Whoa, what happened? Oh, I hit the wrong button. Sometimes I leave the vocals, maybe I don't touch the EQ that much, although I'm always doing a high-pass filter on vocals because you don't really need anything below, 100 hertz or something like that. But yeah, I'm almost always doing something to the vocals. Like I said, I'm trying to think if anybody ever sent me vocals I didn't do anything to, and I can't think of anything because I'm going to do something to them. So yeah, I don't know.
Mark Hendrickson asked, what is that MCI?
What?
I don't know. This is from way earlier. He asked, what is that MCI? Was that something that's in here, or was that something you were talking about?
Well, I thought we were talking about mixers at the time, and I saw him
No,
mention...
this was before the mixers. You talk quite a while when somebody asks a question, so sometimes we'll
I have this way of rambling. Oh, did you say something?
Have you ever experimented with the Neumann KU100 dummy head binaural microphone?
Oh, no, I want to. No. God, I really want to.
Here's a kind of a long, involved one. Money Mike says, I've been an engineer for about 7 years now, always freelance. I've never worked in a studio. This is a follow-up, by the way, to the getting fired stuff. I also produce. I fired a ton of clients a couple of years back, and for whatever reason, I've not been able to find a bunch of people who I actually like and who can actually get to work with me since. Any advice?
Find the love in the music. That's tough. I mean, I've been really lucky. I just say you might need to go out and start what did they shaking the bushes?
Shaking the bushes.
Shaking the bushes, you know?
You actually have a whole video about finding work.
Oh, yeah, I do.
I'm going to find that.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks if you don't like the client or you don't like their music. And now, sometimes I will take gigs if I don't necessarily like the music, but I find something challenging about it. It's like, oh, I don't necessarily listen to that kind of music, but I get it and I know what they need to do. So it's kind of like, I'll find something that I love about it, or sometimes that I like about the challenge of working with those people. But man, I would just say if you're just having a hard time finding people like that, you're just going to have to go out and probably shake the bushes and like maybe go out to some open mics, go out and see some bands play. Like that's one of those things that's, just go out and talk to people. Most of it will be a waste of time, but it only takes one or two. And if you can really nail something, then they talk to other people. That's a tough one. That's really tough. And I also kind of feel, Casey's saying I quit taking metal. Like there's a period of time I like doing metal. But the funny thing is like the culture, I feel like the culture with different genres changes over years. I've been doing this a long time. There's a period of time where all the metal guys I worked with were really easy and cool to work with. And then over time, the newer guys were just all assholes. And I've seen that happen through different parts of my career, but I have been in a position of having to go out and kind of start over and like I got to rebuild my client list. And I did this for a while with country music. I hooked up with a guy named Pistol Hill, independent country guy out of North Carolina, and we just ended up hitting it off. And then he talked to people, and then I had a bunch of clients who were just all these independent country artists from like North Carolina, some by Tennessee, North Georgia, just like this whole region around here. And I got a lot of work from that. And they're all really cool dudes and like just indie country. And kind of started with that one guy. And I kind of took it from a meeting. It was like one of those weird things. It was kind of like, what the hell is this? And then they came down and met him. But I've had to do that several times and just kind of go shake the bushes and find new people. Sometimes it's just that.
I put a link up to the video. The number one question I get from aspiring producers answered. So that's there. To clarify, when he said MCI, he meant Tascam.
Oh. Yeah, you can probably find a bunch of Tascam boards out there if you were talking about buying a board. Oh, and there was something up here I wanted to take a look at. Well, hold on. There's something further. What kind of equipment? Oh, okay. So Elijah asked, wasn't here for a while. What kind of equipment do you think you should get to make a simple rock studio with great sound? Pretty much need this song to hit the charts. Well, first off, make sure it's a good song and make sure you get a good performance. Buy yourself a bunch of Shure SM57s. They're cheap mics. You can use them on guitars, amps. It's amazing like what you can use it for. And they're cheap, like what, $100 each or something like that? Buy yourself a bunch of those. Probably get yourself, like, if you don't have a bunch of money, get yourself an SM7. Those are not bad for rock vocals. And I think with rock bands and all that, you're going to probably need some pre's. The cheap way to do that would be to find a board, some sort of analog board with 8 to 12 channels on it with working mic pre's and some EQ and use those. This is going to give you so much more control. Make sure you got some place for drums. But here's the main thing. If you want to record a rock band, you need to record them all at the same time, even if they suck. I'm telling you, trust me on this. I've had bands come in like, oh, I thought we were going to like have the drummer play the click track and then we'd go into one of them. I'm like, what are you talking about? What kind of crap is that? Like, everybody needs to play at the same time. Even if you go back and redo the guitar parts, you should at least get the drums and bass, those main parts at the same time. Have the guitarist play along. So here's the process I use with bands. Everybody plays, and here's another reason to have a board, somewhere that you can get multiple headphone mixes, even if you don't have a fancy setup. Buy some extra headphones. All the gear isn't going to make a damn bit of difference if the band can't hear it properly. The band needs to be able to hear and feel good and feel like they can relax and not have to struggle to hear each other. I would put more money into making sure I've got headphones and a good headphone system before I worry about all the other stuff, right? Got to make sure the band can hear everything at the same time. The band has to play at the same time, right? That's where the vibe is at. And hopefully they can see each other too. So then, and I'll spend a lot of time on the headphone mix and getting the sounds and, then we record. I try to get the drums and bass at the same time. As soon as I got the drums, I stop everybody and I say to the bass player, like, I'll pick out some spots I want to punch. And the other thing, hopefully you've done some pre-production. You've actually worked on the songs in advance, so you know what you're going to do. Make sure to do that first. Like, you know what the kick pattern's going to be. You know where the breaks are going to be. Dynamics, all that, right? I'm assuming you did pre-production. I make sure to get any bass punches, and if there's any drum fixes I got to do, I'll punch into some drum sections. Like, you dragged, or that drum fill sucked. Or maybe after the band tracks, or I feel like that's a good take. Or we'll do 7 takes. I'll do 5, 6, 7 takes of the band. Here's another thing with a band. I keep doing takes with the band. They keep getting better, and I keep going until they start sounding worse. And then I back up 1 or 2 takes, and that's usually the take. Then I'll think like, well, I like the first half of 6 and the second half of 7, or I like the bridge of 6 in the middle of 7, whatever. I'll do any big editing, and I do that with everybody there. Ain't nobody going anywhere. Then I get the bass part, make sure the bass is right, punch it in, make sure that if there's any drum parts. And then if I have to, once I get that nailed, if I don't feel like the guitarist nailed it, I'll keep those scratch tracks. I'll let everybody else take a break, and I'll keep the guitarist. And if possible, I'll track both the guitarists at the same time, hard pan, depending on them. But I keep those scratch tracks, because I can't tell you how many times I've gone, the scratch track was better, or I like the new part the guitarist did, redoing his part, but he nailed the bridge, or the choruses on the original track sound better. Leaving the option open. But the main thing is make sure they're all playing at the same time and they got good headphone mixes. I could go on for hours about that, but I'll leave it there. I think those are some good things.
Elijah clarified, I'm trying to do all this all myself or with one other person.
Oh, in that case, clone yourself. Oh, okay. Good point. Different workflow. Program, I would do something like I would probably program the drums. Like if I'm going to do live drums, I try to program it the way I want it to be. And then I'll start layering stuff. But because I'm by myself or when another guy, I find myself often going back and redoing stuff because a new part has a different vibe and I'll go back. So I try to keep, like if I got a bass sound, I leave it hooked up to that thing, whatever it is, and I don't touch the knobs. I leave it there, even if it's for days. I'll leave that bass there plugged in and I don't touch that piece of gear. So if I got to punch something in, it's the same volume, right? The other thing is if you're working with one other person, try to do it with them in the room, especially for rock. There's something to vibing with somebody. There's a band I did back in the early 2000s called Grout. It was kind of Linkin Park-ish type thing, but it was mainly me and my buddy Jake. And we would sit there together and just vibe off each other. And there were some times that I'd play guitar part and he's like, oh, I really think you should do this and this. And if I couldn't get it, I would just hand the guitar to him and he would just punch in the chorus or maybe just 2 bars. Like, I don't understand. So I'd just punch him in. There are parts where we we don't know who played what. We actually did a bunch of work with David Banner and played on some Nelly records. So there's these Nelly songs where I can't tell if it's Jake playing or me playing, or maybe I played part and he played, but that whole thing. And so I'm trying to get some kind of interaction and vibe going, I think is really important.
Over there on Instagram, Audio Boy was wondering, what do you have to say about the beat maker or music producer taking on as the job of mixing engineer as well? Because a lot of times now, they do both.
I mean, it just depends on the guy. I mean, back in the day, that was a no-no. You can't mix and produce everything. You got to mix it up. But like if it's me, I'm a good mixer and I'm a good producer, so I'm going to kind of insist on mixing it. I mean, it would depend on the person, whether they're qualified to do it. But a good thing about if you're working with a beat maker, and even if they're a pretty good producer or a pretty good mixer, but maybe they don't have a lot of experience outside of that with harmonies or other things, it might be cool to take it to a good producer who maybe has some other knowledge and can take it to another level. Just make sure that there's a rough mix, that they're referencing the rough mix, because even a bad rough mix is going to have something in it that is special. There's going to be something in it that kind of informs where the emotion was at, almost always. But I can't say there's any rule. It's just going to depend on the producer and his mixing skills and kind of where his head's at.
I'm not sure, this is a very general kind of question, but what are some things I can do to give chords a darker feel? Because that could be all kinds of things.
That sounds like a Rick Beato question to me. He'd be able to say the diminished something. I don't know. But I will say this. Inverting the chords is a cool thing. So like on guitar, I was kind of joking about Rick, but to be honest with you, I don't know much about music theory. There are things you can do, but one of my first places to go to is like inverting the chord, meaning, normally like if you're playing the guitar, like the easy way to say is like a piano chord, like you're hitting like C chords, you're hitting like C, E, G, and you invert it. So you take the C and you put it on top. So the bottom chord is now the third, right? Or you can invert it the other way. You take the fifth and throw it on the bottom. So now it's G, C, E. It's a very simple thing, but on guitar, that can really change whether something sounds darker or not. Sometimes I'll try to throw dissonant notes in there, like...
And Travis Ray suggests take the root note and move it up an octave.
Yeah. So like, I don't have this plugged in. So like, here's an A minor, right? So I'm playing the A, like I'm just doing the top, normally like A minor would be like that, but I'm just playing the top four notes. One of my favorite tricks to do is, and this works on the A minor here, if I kind of let this off and it's actually hitting... It's hitting, that's a minor third, so it's like the flat of the third. So it's like a distance. You hear that? So there, you got the minor third, but there's a flat in there. I do that on A chords all the time, right? A minor chords, but you can do it in other chords too. Like, there's like a C minor, you can go. Or you can, I can't plot. Bottom line is, sometimes I just look for disturbing notes. It's like, but putting a flat, like having two notes that are like a half step apart in a chord can often be really, really cool. The other thing is if you're doubling them, do it on one guitar chord and not the other. You'd be amazed how many times things that if you actually try to analyze it too much, you go, oh, that sounds terrible. But in the mix, it sounds amazing.
Nikki really wants you to talk about Michael Jackson's mixing engineer, what they did 99 mix on Billie Jean.
I don't know. Somebody was talking about that earlier. I can't remember the whole story, that I think they were mixing Billie Jean and trying it over and over and over and over again. And then God, the producer he just died. Oh my God.
Was it Bruce Whedbee?
No. That was the mixer. The producer.
Oh, the mixer.
Oh my God, why can't I remember? He just died.
Oh.
I'm ashamed. Why can't I remember anybody's name? I can't even remember my kid's name. I can't even remember my cat's name. But anyway, they kept mixing it over and over and over again. And then he walked in one day and said, just go back to the first mix. And I think they just used the first mix. I think that's the story I remember. Quincy Jones, yes. Thank you so much, Mark. God, I'm such an idiot.
Thank you. Yeah, y'all got it.
Yeah, I'm terrible with names.
So, Billy, have you ever built your own mic?
Oh, yeah,
Kev
no.
Gresham says they have. They bought the parts from Matt McGlynn at Mic Parts, and it's been the biggest bang for your buck.
Oh, well, we talked about, I was going to build a ribbon mic, but then I looked into it, and the foil for the ribbon is so thin, and they're talking about how steady hands, and my hands aren't as steady as they used to be, you know? Like, I used to have the most, I could paint. I could cut a line without tape, right? Not so much now. But hold on, let me look that up. What is the company? Because I've been thinking about making a mic and making a video about it. And what did he say it was?
Oh, shoot. I already deleted it because I asked it.
No. What?
Sorry. Oh, I mean, it's in the comments somewhere.
Yeah, but I'm blind. Hold on. Oh, thanks, Micro Mark. Oh, my God, where was it? Oh, thanks, Elijah. He's talking about ways to do things with chords up there. Oh, my God. Where is it? Wait. Rabbit just says, get an awesome mic from the 1930s used for listening to earthquakes. What? Where is the thing about the mic? Because I saw that like 30 minutes ago, and I kept meaning to come back to it.
Yeah, I
really
pasted it
want to
in
make a mic.
Maybe I can just undo.
There
it is. It was Kev Gresham. They bought the parts from Matt McGlynn at Mic Parts.
Matt McGlynn? Mm-hmm. How do you spell that?
Glynn.
Two T's?
T's. Oh, Matt. Yes, 2 T's.
Matt Mick. How do you spell that?
Mick, Glynn.
Okay, what? Oh, wait. Oh, is Matt McGlynn? Oh, is there something else? There's some guy. I don't know if that's him. Matt McGlynn at what?
Mic Parts.
Oh,
MIC Parts.
Parts. Roswell Pro Audio? Is that it?
I don't know.
Oh. Our microphones provide, hold on, products. Oh, custom shop mic built. No, is this it? Like, do they have a kit?
They're saying it was a kit.
I'm looking for the kits. Can't find it.
Well, no, not a kit. They bought the parts.
Oh. You just bought the parts? There were no instructions?
And Kev says, yes, that's right. The Roswell link.
Okay, hold on. Products. I'm interested in that. Yeah, I thought that would make a good YouTube video. And I want a ribbon mic. I just can't afford one right now, but I thought ribbon mics are actually supposed to be like the simplest mic design. And I thought, well, maybe I'll get a kit and make one, you know?
And actually, Dangerous D-Sax wonders what's your favorite affordable ribbon mic?
Okay, hold on. Hold that thought.
Oh, okay. I thought it went.
Okay, I'm looking. Where's the thing? Maybe somebody's saying more about this mic parts thing.
Roswell, they bought a UFO. No, different Roswell. Bloor says, I have 2 Roswell mics, the K67X and the K47X.
I'm looking at this Aztec. Is that supposed to be like an Elam 251 or something? Oh, that thing's 3,000 dang bucks. Man. Yeah, it looks, I mean, just something about it looks like maybe they're trying to copy a 251. Telefunken. Yeah, I'm just looking for the parts, though. Where I see products, but I don't see parts. I see custom shop mic builder. Is that it? No, that's how to customize a mic.
I will point out that we're past 3 hours now.
I know.
There's a few more questions here.
Yeah, but somebody said build a mic. The hell with y'all. I want to find this thing. But yeah, I do think. My favorite cheap ribbon mic.
Oh, and yes, the Aztec is a 251 copy.
Oh, okay, interesting. I mean, I've only used really expensive ones. Oh my God, I'm terrible with names. It's the big black one, the waffle grill one from England. What is that? That's the not the Buyer. Oh my God,
I can't help you.
it's that goofy looking one that everybody raves about. I actually don't like those that much. I've used them on drums. I got to tell you, the Royer 121 is still just. I think it's a little expensive. I think those little round ones, what do they call them? The Chinese ones. Those are pretty good. And I think you can modify them. See, y'all ask me questions where I got to remember names of things. I can't remember. What's your name again?
Huh? Was that...
You.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, Coles. The Coles mics. I love those. They're really expensive. But I like the Royers a lot. Now the Buyer, okay, so refridge, you're saying the Biodynamic M160, that is what I want to buy. Because I remember back in the day, those were the mics to get. And they're supposedly great mics, but they're not popular, so they're cheap now.
Soul Pilot Music wonders, do you mean Octava? Octava? For
no,
the Chinese
it's not
ones.
Octava. I thought it's like round. No, it's not no, Octava is Russian. I thought. I'm thinking of they're round. Geez, I can't remember the name of them. Ben's got a couple of them. I can't remember the name. But this right here, I really want to buy. I think it's this here. It's like $800. It's a classic microphone, the M160. I believe this is it here. I don't know why they're not more expensive. I think just because people don't know about them. But, I mean, some classic records have been cut with these things. And that's kind of what I want to buy. Yeah, look at that. That's what I want to get right there. Whoops. Oh, it's got a little video of it. But I can't remember the cheap of the other one or the price of the other one. I might make one, though. Somebody said Black Betty. Is Black Betty a microphone? Hold on. I hope I don't pull up something here we shouldn't have on the camera. I don't see anything about a microphone called Black Betty on here.
It's a good song.
Yeah. But anyway, what do you mean M160 on greenbacks? What do you mean by that?
Chaos Dynamics says Coles mics.
No, the Coles are pretty expensive. The Coles are like the Coles are the big ones with like the waffle thing. Those are great, but I don't know. I always thought they're a little too dark for me.
Blam-a-lam, that's right. Should I go to the next question?
Yeah. I can't think of the name of these cheap mics. These cheap ribbon mics, but you can modify them and make them sound pretty good, what I heard. But I want to build some mics.
Let's see. Any tips on how to connect multiple instruments and gear economically so it's always ready?
Probably you have probably need a little mixer or something like that. I mean, to me, having a mixer, God, especially since I've got this one in here again, having this at the ready to go, and I'm still setting it up, but I've got like some of my outboard effects coming in here. I've, of course, got my whole Livestream in here. I've got it easy to set up my amp. I've got an amp room in the back with a bunch of amps, and I'm getting closer to getting it where it's all set up all the time. I've just been doing so many different things. I keep changing things. But, yeah, I'd just say make sure you get a lot of cables, extra mic stands, and get a small mixer with some channels with hopefully direct outs on them so you can just send straight to the pre and leave them set up and don't change them. Somebody said, hold on. Did we find out what the greenback was? God, it was actually on Instagram. Somebody said, what is the advantage of ribbon mic? Just that they're so directional, they won't pick up. No, well, actually, ribbon mics are a figure eight. A ribbon is a completely different sound because like a condenser, it's got like that it's kind of like a diaphragm, but they call it the plate, and it's charged and it does this thing. A dynamic mic is basically a speaker backwards, right? A ribbon mic is a thin foil ribbon, and it sits sideways, and when you sing into it, it basically vibrates, right? And it sits between two magnets. A very simple design. It's a very smooth sound. They're more fragile, and they can't take as much SPL, volume as a lot of mics, but it's a different kind of sound. And so I think the original, some of the first mics were ribbon mics. And it's just a really nice, I love them on fiddles, female vocals, some certain ribbon mics that can take high pressure volume sound amazing on guitar amps. Sometimes you feel like they're a little dark, but it's just a completely different sound. Like room mics on drums, they can be really good for. But like fiddle, yeah, all day on, especially I just love the Royer 121s on a fiddle. Sound great to me. Oh, you're saying the M160 mic is a cardioid, but here, so Damon, you got an interesting point. The biodynamics are weird because it looks like a handheld mic. So I don't know. Now that you're saying that, how? I don't know. I don't understand. That's a damn good point, though. It is cardioid, so maybe they just block off the back of it or something like that, because it's the only mic I've ever seen that's a ribbon mic that looks like a handheld mic. But they're great sounding. Interesting point. I didn't even think about that.
Let's see. What if rap artists bring you a finished beat, so to speak, like a backing track? How do you approach it? I find it difficult sometimes.
Oh, you mean just got a 2-track? If that's what is that what he means? Like,
I don't know, Juan Carlos?
Like you get a song to mix and it's just a 2-track? I mixed a song years ago for David Banner called Like a Pimp, and that was just a 2-track. So I used to get that a lot more back when I was doing rap music. So sometimes I'll do something where I'll make a copy of the track and maybe I'll filter out the high end. You got to be careful about phase, how you do this. But I got little tricks, like I'll filter out the high end and just go for the sub and focus on the sub and blend that with the 2-track. Sometimes there's like a snare drum or a stick sound and I want some reverb on it, but it's in the 2-track. I'll either just find a place in the song where it's just that sound, right? And I'll copy it to another track and trim it and put reverb with 100% reverb on it and blend it in. Or, and this works all the time too, let's say they got a snare or a stick sound in there and you can't get it separated enough to put reverb on it. I'll just find another sample that sounds very close to it. I'll put it on a track and put reverb on it, but 100% reverb. You don't hear any of the original sound, and blend that with a track. Nobody will ever notice it's not the same exact snare sound. It's just a reverb. So I'll do stuff like that. And then I've done some crazy stuff like I'll make a copy of the track and do some like really hyped compression, like kind of like the way you'd parallel compress drums, but I'll do that with a 2-track. And usually I'm filtering out some low end and stuff like that and then blend that with the original. But yeah, usually I'm making copies of the 2-track, and then sometimes I've even had situations where I could not get the kick to hit out of it, and sometimes I can like EQ it, but sometimes I just got to find a sample that works and blend it in there, and I got to go through the whole damn thing and place that kick on every hit and match up the waveforms. It's about the only damn way. It just depends on the budget and all that, but I basically, when it comes to that sort of thing, I'm pulling every trick out of my, that I can to make it sound right.
Have you ever had to mix on a hi-fi stereo?
Wait a sec. So Soul Pilot, You're saying good old David Banner, we used one of his songs on the Footloose remake. What, do you work on movies and stuff? Interesting. Nice. Sorry, what now?
Have you ever had to mix on a hi-fi stereo?
I haven't had to, but I have. But that's not really what I want to mix on. I usually mix on cheap stereos. And yes, what was it? He said, did he take the thing off? He said like Rick Beato being groomed well.
No, he learned it in college.
Did it go? I think he took the comment off.
He did.
Yeah. Oh, Rick. He does. He does. I don't know if I should even say that.
Soul Pilot Music says that they are indeed music editor for films in L.A.
Oh, interesting. Nice. Hey man, how do I get my songs into the license for movies, man? I would really like to do that. It's just I don't really know anybody, but I love the film business.
One thing Billy has said before, because he's done some scores for film,
local films, smaller,
right? Little small stuff, films, yes. But. And working with filmmakers, he said, it's like it makes the music industry seem a little bit like a toy box, because it's such a bigger production working in film, and everybody has to really have their stuff together.
Yeah, you gotta.
Whereas
it made me realize
we can bumble around a little more.
We are. Yeah, even the guy on a half decent movie, the guy who's just like helping wrap up cables. I can't remember all the names, whatever. He's probably got his crap together than some professional mixers and producers I know. It's just appalling. But I do have there's a movie on Amazon Prime called Burnt Offering, and my buddy Stephen Perez did it. He and I are both credited in the music. He did the title theme, and then we collaborated on another one. It was his brainchild, but I composed most of the music on it and mixed it. Of course, I think I mixed the music a little loud. I went back and listened to it a year later and like, oh my God, I should have turned my music down. But if you want to hear, I did like a late 90s, early 90s thing on that. It's called Burnt Offering on Amazon, and it's a horror film about some guys that go into a old school house and bad things happen to them there, and it's kind of gross. But the music's really good.
Are using compressors a necessity?
I mean, no, but it certainly helps out. I mean, you got to realize, like, if you're sitting in the room with somebody, the dynamic range and your ability to hear everything is, it's just easier. But trying to get it to come over speakers gets really technical. But you gotta kind of squish that a little together to get it all out there. But I use compressors artistically. You can use compressors as a tool to control the volume and fix things and all that, but I use compressors. I do wacky stuff with them, fast attacks, fast releases to get distortion. I abuse the compressors, and I use them as kind of like almost like an EQ or something like that, So, wait a sec. Wait, you saw Billy live.
Saxon7 says, how do you get tracks into a movie? Same as winning a Grammy. Grind, luck. Grind, luck. I think somebody watched the new video.
Oh, cool. Oh, yeah, I guess we should talk about the new video. Yeah, so everybody, just if y'all don't mind, pop over. Oh, that's not the right one. Pop over to my YouTube channel and check out my new video. It's called Luck is a Skill. And here's the thumbnail in case you want to. Now, and this thumbnail comes from something that happens at the end of the video, which is kind of fun. But anyway, yeah, if y'all can go check that out, I'd really appreciate that. Trying to get some more views on the YouTube channel. I do probably need to go. I mean, there's so many things here I want to talk about, but I've got to eat and I need to work on this other song. I'm trying to get another song done for a video and finish a video. So. Yes, Megan. Using the compressor as a sound design tool. Try abusing it. Try really fast attacks and really fast releases. Just go crazy with it. You'll surprise yourself. And then try doing like a high pass filtering and low pass filtering, and you'll go, oh my God. That's all I'm saying. What could the future of music be without references to rock, punk, or EDM? I mean, I don't know. Yeah, thanks, Eric. Yeah, are you going to join the contest, Eric? Come on. Did you get the samples? Yeah. Chopping the samples. You did get them, so don't overdo it. Don't take 3 years. You got till the midnight of the 21st to submit your song. So please, even if you think it's not perfect, hey, Eric, even if you think you're not going to win, submit it anyway. Seriously, just do it. Don't be afraid. Even if it sucks, please send it in. There's probably going to be something in there that we can all learn from. And by the way, and I did we ever put this up on the rules kit where we want people to say their name, the name of the work?
I think we did. I'm not sure.
But also I'd like them to list their DAW.
Oh, okay. No, we did not have that in there.
You know, and if
just out of curiosity.
Cool, so,
so real quick, since we're on the topic and we're about to go off, so the contest that Billy's talking about, he created a couple of live streams ago a whole bunch of interesting samples from random stuff. Those samples are on his Patreon page. You can join the Patreon. It's free. You can download the samples. They're free. The contest is you take those samples and you make a song out of them. And you can only use those samples and vocals. If you want to use your voice or another singer's voice, you can only use those samples and that, nothing else. And no AI. But you can take those samples and you can do whatever you want with them. You know, mash them, cut them up, pitch them, stretch them out, whatever you want to do. And that's how you'll get the sounds that you want to use to make your song. The submissions are due by the 21st of this month at midnight. And then on the 22nd, that's a regular Wednesday live stream, and we'll play the submissions on that live stream, January 22nd. And it'll be a popular vote for the winner. The rules can be found on Patreon, where you go to get the samples, on the YouTube community page. So if you go to Billy's YouTube page, Freaking Out with Billy Hume.
Let me show the thumbnail. So if you go to, sorry to interrupt you, Kit, but if you go to the my YouTube channel, you'll see like videos, shorts, live streams, but you'll see a tab that says community. Click on there and you'll see this thumbnail that's got all the rules and all that in it. And I think it's got a link. I think it's got a link to the Patreon on it. And then you can go to the Patreon where it also has all the rules listed as well. I believe you also posted the rules on the Discord channel. And that's another thing. If you guys are interested, Billy has got a Discord server. And a lot of folks are over there. They talk to each other, share what they're working on, help each other out. You know, Billy and I, we can check in once in a while. Casey's amazing. He's over there helping us out. And if you want to join Discord, I'll pop a link in the chat. And y'all on Instagram, links don't really work, but maybe you can copy and paste. And then what else was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So no AI. And when you submit your song, please include a title for the track, tell us what DAW you used, and tell us your screen name on whichever platform you'll be watching the stream. Let's see. Yes. Go ahead.
I was going to tell everybody, don't forget, especially y'all on YouTube, hey, like the video today, the live stream. Comment if you want. Don't forget, if you're not subscribed to Billy's YouTube, please do, and hit the notification button. Things have been pretty active over on the YouTube channel, and that's been so fantastic. So we want to say thank you guys so much for watching the videos, commenting, sharing stuff. It's really amazing.
Yeah, and somebody was saying something about like some plugins use AI. I mean, when I say using AI, I don't want you using AI to like make the beat or cut up your sample. I don't really know. I'm just really anti-AI. But as far as what you can do with the samples, you can chop them up, turn them backwards. You can run them through a guitar amp, run them through some reverbs, whatever. Destroy them, run them through a guitar pedal, something like that. You can use your voice or a friend's voice, but you don't use them as a granular synth, or not granular, or wavetable synth, where like there are certain plugins where you can like feed it a sound and then it creates like strings and shit from it. Not that. Think of it like, think of the samples as wood. And you got a hammer and a saw and a nail and a drill. But a lot of it's just like pitching it and stuff like that. And somebody's talking about micro sampling, where you're chopping up like teeny little things of the sample, and it actually creates a tone from doing that. I'd love to hear what that sounds like. Stuff like that. Now, not using samplers. Now, if you're loading the samples into a sampler for playback to chop it up and do stuff with it, that's fine. Because to me, wouldn't that be like putting it in like the drum rack or the sampler in Ableton? I think that would be fine as long as it's not replacing the sounds. Because like samplers, maybe that's the easy way to like play them back or something like that. I think that would be fine. So, Yeah, I mean, as long as it's not putting in another sound.
Yes, chalk dinosaur. That is wood planks that Billy has turned into diffusers and just cool looking studio walls.
Yeah, I just wanted something behind me so the sound's not coming back.
If you just have drywall, yeah, you should consider putting up some diffusers and things.
Well, all right, everybody. It's so hard to get off these live streams because there's always so many interesting things to talk about, and I really like the interaction, but I got to go eat something and I got to work on a song. So we're going to call it here for now. The contest is still, it's like still like 2 weeks away, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think, hold on, where's the calendar?
Yeah, I'm looking for a calendar. Let me just double check this real quick.
I mean, we might be down to a week and a half.
Oh yeah, because we're Saturday right now. Yeah, I forgot. We're now Saturday. Where's my calendar?
Refridge. No, we don't do taxidermy. Bob, we didn't have anything to do with Bob being in the state that he is in, but it's a pretty interesting story of how Bob came to be in the studio. And apparently, we're going to be trading Bob for a different Bob.
On the 25th. On the 25th.
We'll have a session.
There's another bobcat coming in. I have to give that bobcat back. I'm not sure what the story behind that is, but it apparently needs to happen.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like about a week and a half till the contest. So yeah. All right. So everybody, thanks so much for watching. It's been fun. Awesome. Please go watch the new video. I'll be back on Wednesday. Don't know what I'll be doing. Hopefully I'll be better planned than I was today because I completely blew it today and didn't do what I had planned, but I figured I'd stream anyway. Casey, thank you so much over there on Twitch. I think Fragile had to leave. See you later. Mark, good seeing you. Travis, thank you so much for the excellent tip, and everybody else who tipped us as well. These live streams just keep me going and give me a lot of energy, and I love it.
Don't forget to watch the new video.
And do watch the new video, please, and subscribe, because I need to get my following up so I can make some money. Oh, I see Astro Hills is in here now. So anyway, everybody, have a good evening. I'll be back on Wednesday. See you later.
Thanks, y'all.
Take 1, take 2, take 3, take 4, take 5, take whatever.